Understand.
It's 5:47.
They'll start doing their announcements at 47. Slideshow. Week 5 intro is the slideshow. That should have been rolling, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. No, you're starting with the MG Week 5 Riverside versus COC. After you do the open shot, that open clip. So play that open clip and then come back to this shot. It should say open dash dash. Yes. That thing. I'm gonna throw this up there. So, okay.
5:47. Yeah. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Huh? You gotta go to the bathroom? Too late now. You gotta wait until we're done. Yeah, we got you. Big SCFA battle here at College of the Canyons on a Saturday night. Battle of the Big Cats, as we're calling it. Top 10 teams in the SCFA. Riverside in town to take on the COC Cougars. Hi, everybody, and welcome in. I'm Matt Robinson alongside Jesse Munoz. And Jesse, as we've said already, it's the Battle of the Big Cats. It's a huge one. A little bit of a battle from last year, a rematch from the SCFA Championship Game actually in 2019. Getting ready here tonight, and it's
Matt,
really a big game.
Absolutely. This is the one. If there's one that you circle on your schedule, looking back, you know, like you said, the rematch from the 2019 SoCal Championship Game, I know for a fact that when this schedule was released, this was one that all Cougar fans, everyone associated with the program had circled and on their mind.
Yeah, and it's a different game than what we kind of expected coming in. COC undefeated 4-0, won again last week against Palomar. Riverside coming in off a loss, 3-1, unexpected, lost to Golden West, but still a very important game when you look at things going into the league season for both these sides.
Absolutely, Matt. I think a heavyweight matchup by any means of the definition. And, of course, you know, the marquee game for this weekend's SCFA slate. It's certainly an unexpected result. Hats off to Golden West last week with the big victory, but this is still a very talented, well-coached Riverside football team looking in here to perhaps correct themselves and get back on the right track. So the Cougars are going to have their work cut out for them.
Well, and COC coming off a good win against Palomar, maybe not quite as good as they would have liked it to be, but it started really on the offensive side. Tuni Aikahihifu had an impressive game. Player of the week in the SCFA. He threw for 355 yards, 6 touchdowns, was just awesome.
Yeah, awesome is the best word. I mean, making his first collegiate start, comes out right out of the gate, started a little slow, but, I mean, 6 total touchdowns, leads the team in rushing. Like you said, the co-player of the week honors, really couldn't have expected much more out of him. He had a fantastic game.
We'll see if he gets some time tonight. We expect Cole Doyle back in the lineup, in the starting spot for the Cougars. On the defensive side, defense didn't quite have the week they would like, and it's amazing what the Cougars kind of do. One week, one side has a tough week. The next week, the other side has a tough week. They find a way to win. Good news is for COC, 2 guys had a big week last week again. Henry Aikahifu and Jonathan Thomas, both just awesome as always.
Absolutely. I mean, the 2 big cats, the sophomore leaders out there on that defensive unit. Jonathan Thomas leading the team, 28 total tackles, 7 tackles for loss. I mean, that's amazing. Henry Aikahihifu, again, number 2 on the team, 17 tackles, 5 sacks, up among the state leaders. So, again, 2 of those guys really wreaking havoc, but they got a whole gang of friends with them on that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they absolutely do, and we expect that defensive side to have a much better week this week. I'm sure Dan Corbett had a really good talk with them during the week and said, this one's important, we got to have a good one to go. On the other side, Riverside, as we said, lost last week, still 3-1. You think a little bit of an angry team coming in, long bus ride up, ready to kind of get a win back again?
Yeah, you know, that's always the thought process. I mean, anytime a team takes an unexpected loss like that, you know that they're rearing to get back, chomping at the bit to get back to work. The old saying in the NFL, good teams don't lose 2 in a row. And that's, I think, got to be the mindset for Riverside coming into this game, correct themselves, both teams heading into a Week 6 bye. So it's now or never. Yeah,
and Tom Kraft, a guy with 105 career wins, you know he's going to have his side ready to go. As we said, a very important game when it comes down to the grand scheme of things in the SCFA. Yeah, it's a non-league contest, but still it's one that everybody's looking at. A rematch from 2019 SCFA Championship Game. Cougars trying to get a little bit of revenge. Riverside trying to stay on top, repeat as state champions. We'll have the opening kickoff for you when we come back here on the Cougar Sports Network, SoCalCollegeSports.com, and SCVTV.com.
Cougar Football is presented by COC Athletics. For up-to-date records and information about all 17 Cougars athletics teams, go to the COC Cougar homepage at cocathletics.com. Jersey Mike's. Tired of cooking at home? Then change it up with Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. SCVTV, local television for Santa Clarita. Busy Bees Barbecue. Come and get a taste of the best barbecue in town at every Cougar football game with Busy Bees. And COC Sports Information. Follow COC Athletics on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest news, stats, and schedules for all 17 Cougars sports programs.
We're 60 before. Welcome back in, College of the Canyons. Time for the Busy Bees Cafe keys to the game. And Jesse, those keys are?
Number one, Matt, limit the mistakes. College of the Canyons offense coming in this year only committed 4 turnovers, 3 fumbles, 1 INT, neither from any of their starting QBs. Also penalties. Cougars got a good mark, 19th best in the state. 76.3 yards of penalties per game. Again, you want to keep that there or even improve on that. Number 2, sustained drives. College of the Canyons known for that quick strike offense. Last week had scoring drives of 2, 3, and 6 plays. So we'll definitely want to sustain things for the duration here tonight. Go ahead, Matt.
We'll stop you right there for a second. The kickoff was muffed by Riverside, and it's going to be a long field for the Tigers here to start, as they'll start on their own 5-yard line. Go ahead, Jesse.
Matt, that brings me to my last point. Rush the QB. College of the Canyons coming in tonight, number 3 in the state with 15 sacks. When you rush the quarterback, positive things happen, and so far that has translated over to 5 interceptions and 4 fumble recoveries for the Cougars. See some more of that tonight, and I think we will have a good result for the Cougars.
So it'll be a long field for Riverside here to start, as they kind of, like as we said, muffed the opening kickoff and are going to push themselves back here all the way to the 6-yard line as we go here on first down, and they will run the ball right away. And just a couple of yard gain for Thomas Kinslow. Is Bernie Budd the quarterback for Riverside? 43 of 73 for 539 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception on the season, running the offense here for the Tigers. As they come out in that same set with Kinslow in the backfield next to Budd. He'll throw here on second down. And that one picked off by the Cougars and taken to the house. Pick 6 for COC, Joshua Madison.
Joshua Madison stepping up early on and making a big play. We didn't get to call his name on the first play, but he had the stop. Comes right back with the interception, pick 6, and College of the Canyons is on the board, ladies and gentlemen.
Take a look at the jersey, Mike, sub above, replay. Here it comes. As you can see, Budd just stepping back, and Madison jumps the route. And number 3, Hammond Provolone. I think he deserves a Hammond Provolone after that one, Jesse.
Outstanding defensive effort out there, putting the Cougars with an early advantage, and that's exactly what you want to see. Get out, get some points on the board. We haven't even touched the ball offensively, and you're ahead 6-0. Couldn't have asked for a better start.
Extra point is up and good. It's 7-0 on 2 plays. And the Cougars are up, and like you said, cannot ask for anything better from College of the Canyons, and that's a heck of a way to start.
Absolutely, and I think more importantly, other than the points are important, and they will be as this game plays out. But what that does for your sideline, for these fans, for those defensive players out there to come in and 2 plays later have a result like that, those young men are going to be hyped down there.
How much of that gets into the psyche of Riverside? They took the ball. They won the toss, said we want the ball first, and it's COC that gets on the board on a pick 6.
Yeah, interesting decision there. Obviously they had something in mind that they wanted to come out and had perhaps game plan for. Just didn't work out. So, again, I think you Riverside, you go back, try and regroup. You stick to your plan, see what happens. Either way, good job, College of the Canyons.
So we'll kick it off again, as it's Connors and it looks like Ty Moore back to receive for Riverside here. And it was Connors that had trouble with that first one, as Ty Morrison in to kick it off for the second time in just a couple of minutes, and he kicks it short. And Riverside this time will let it go out of bounds, and so they'll start with better field position here on their second drive, what'll be just their 3rd play of the game.
Yeah, again, it'll be interesting to see what Riverside does if they come back out, try to establish that run. Known historically as a running team, certainly was the case in 2019 when we met them. Looking at the stats so far, that trend seems to have continued. Obviously, the penalty on the kickoff will aid those efforts.
When you look, and they have a couple of running backs, Thomas Kinslow, Dean Connors, the guys that kind of have carried the load for them this year. Kinslow with 30 attempts and 153 yards, no touchdowns. Connors kind of the big back, 29 rushes, 162 yards, and 3 scores. So those have kind of been the guys that run things here. As Budd still in the backfield at quarterback, they'll send Kinslow out wide. They'll throw a screen pass this time short, caught by Houston. He gets a couple of yards, and it'll bring up second down. So maybe a 3-yard gain. We'll call it 2nd and 7 here. Second down and 7 with Bud in the backfield. Kinslow to his right once again. 2 receivers swung out to each side. They'll hand off to Kinslow and nowhere to go. Henry Ika Hihifu wraps him up in the backfield.
Well, Matt, I think that's a name you're going to hear early and often tonight, and I'm glad you spit it out first so I can copy you on the pronunciation. I know I had some problems last week, but this is an outstanding young man and a tremendous football player out there. Seems to make a play every week, and we see his brother there on the screen. Also got some accolades last week, but again, he's a fun one to watch.
As we'll go here on 3rd down and 7. Riverside with that same 2 wide to each side. They'll swing Kinslow out to the far side here. Bud to throw over the middle, has a man caught in a 1st down. Good pass right over the middle to find Marquise Ashley.
And Josh Madison continuing to be involved here. Stepped up, made a nice open field tackle there. Again, I think that's 3 times we've called his name already. So again, some of these guys excited for this one, and it has shown in their performance here in the early going.
So it'll go 1st and 10 from just on the Cougar side of midfield at the 48-yard line. They'll hand off this time, and running right up the middle was Kinslow. He picks up a couple. It'll bring 2nd down and about 6 here.
So pretty much what we expected offensively here. Cougars so far doing a nice job sticking with them, being able to make those tackles. But it's going to be a prolonged and sustained attack here, I think, from the Tigers.
As they'll run again with Kinslow, and he gets another good chunk, maybe 4 yards. You know, enough for a 3rd down and short here. And you got to like that if you're Riverside after the pick 6. You've moved the ball, and now you're starting to speed things up here a little bit. They go with Kinslow again. He lowers his head, dives through the pile, and he's got enough for a 1st down.
And again, a nice job for them being able to shake off that turnover and stick to their game plan. No need to freak out. It's early going here. And this is, like you said, Matt, coming into the game, this is what we have seen them do. This is what we've known them to do. And so far, things going according to script.
As the clock continues to tick here, as Riverside taking their time getting back to the line of scrimmage. They'll go on 1st and 10. From the Cougar 37-yard line. Kinslow again on the handoff. Jonathan Thomas gets to him first. Got some help from Reggie Jones, and they'll say Kinslow got back to the line of scrimmage.
Let's see if we catch the replay here. Jonathan Thomas, I feel like the last 3 weeks or the last 3 games I've seen him, has just come up, found himself in the hole, and stuck and made the play. Again, with the team leader in tackles coming in tonight, there's another one right there.
2nd down and 10. New back in the backfield this time. Bud going to throw, has some time, will scramble, and now he's just going to tuck it. And he slides, but he late slides, and a late flag comes out. And that flag is on Jonathan Thomas.
Yeah, we'll have to see the angle here, what exactly happened. I don't think any malicious intent. Just kind of caught him at a weird angle. Well, let's see.
And the official's talking about it right now. Yeah, I mean,
his momentum's going one way, and he's trying to reach back and make the tackle. So,
yep, and they're going to wave it off.
I think if you see the malicious intent there, you leave the flag. That was just one of those things, body momentum and pace of the game, the way that worked out.
And they're going to pull Bernie Budd off the field because he lost the helmet. And we saw the replay. He kind of took his time trying to get down to give up, and at that point, we've seen it a couple of times in the NCAA over the last few weeks. You do have to make it obvious that you're giving yourself up as the quarterback. And that one he kind of didn't, and Jonathan Thomas has no choice but to try and tackle him.
A nice job by the officiating crew to get that one right.
As Jordan Barton comes in at quarterback here, Connors is going to be in motion out wide. Barton going to throw. Pass is caught by Houston. Stays on his feet, still on his feet. Inside the 10, cuts it back, and it's tackled all the way down at the Cougar 2-yard line.
Well, that is a good, hard-nosed, athletic play, showing a little bit of strength there on the stiff arm and just enough to get to the sideline and back up field. You're going to see it right there, just enough to get past his guys, got a little bit of help before finally number 29, Cole Bullock, in to take him down.
So Riverside going to have a chance to tie the game here. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll hand off, and nowhere to go for Connors. Guess who in the backfield once again?
Jonathan Thomas, big number 5, JT, starting to feel things down there. That's a couple big plays for him now. And again, he's the guy. He's the guy in the middle. He can be the guy off the edge, but he is definitely the leader of this Cougar defense out there.
Unabated shot right on Connors. Nowhere for him to go. And it'll bring up second down and goal from, we'll say, the 4 as they lose 2 yards on the play. Riverside going to come with a fullback in this time. A couple of extra bodies into block as well, as Connors is the deep man in the backfield. Bud back in the game. They'll give to Connors, wants to cut it to the outside, and he's going to run away and get into the end zone for a touchdown. Got around Cameron Bell, and Riverside on the board.
So Riverside, nice job responding. You know, they took the punch, so to speak, from the Cougars defense, and out there just able to bounce it outside and get to the end zone. It's a nice job of them sticking to their game plan, not freaking out, coming down, getting a sustained drive and those points on the board.
And I'm sure there will be discussion about tackling on that play as Bell had him in the backfield, just couldn't wrap him up. And pending the point after, which is up and good off the foot of Ricardo Chavez. And we are even at 7, but Cougars haven't got the ball yet. We'll get to see the Cougar offense for the first time coming back.
No, and a good first round. These two teams exchanging punches. And like you said, be interesting to see what this Cougar offense is able to do, what this Cougar offense looks like this week, coming off last week, a little bit of change of quarterback.
Remember, folks, COC Athletics is your place to go for up-to-date records and information about COC football and all 17 Cougar Athletics teams. That includes schedules, rosters, stats, game photos, live stream links for all home games. Be sure to check out College of the Canyons Athletics homepage at cocathletics.com. As we will get to see the Cougar offense for the first time here today. And we'll get to see the Riverside defense for the first time today, too. And it should be an interesting matchup between these two sides. As you kind of look at the Cougar offense, right now, at this point in the season, a top 10 offense in the state of California, as they've been absolutely impressive, scoring 163 points, 40.8 per. That's 5th and 6th in the state of California right now. And the total offense 6th at 1926. As for the Riverside defense, I mean, they haven't been bad. They've done their job when they've needed to. They've got a couple of defensive touchdowns. Is that one going to get kicked into the back of the end zone? And it'll be a touchback, so the Cougars will take it on their own 25-yard line.
Well, Matt, like we talked about coming into the broadcast tonight, Cougar offense has shown that ability to seemingly score at will. You know, a couple times last week, 2 plays, score, 3 plays, score, 2 plays, score. I mean, it's kind of a trend. The ability to sustain the drive is something they have also flashed, but I think are going to need more of here tonight. And again, we talked about that coming in, the keys of the game. It's all going to be up to these big boys up front, the offensive line, creating running lanes and giving Colton Doyle time to distribute the ball.
So with 9:32 on the first quarter game clock, the Cougars will get the ball for the first time today. Is Colton Doyle in the backfield to start. Will fake the handoff to Cyrus Zool, throws it outside to Cal Littles, and it's an incomplete pass. It was just over the head of Calvin Littles, and maybe to be expected a little bit after Cole didn't play last week. First throw of the game, just a little too much on it.
Timing could be a little bit off, a little bit of excitement. You know, I feel like he maybe heard the Riverside defenders creeping up on him there, but that's okay. Get things worked out. That was the first snap.
So we'll go second down here. Zool is the back in the backfield. 2 receivers out to the near side for Canyons. As Doyle will put one of them in motion as Cal Littles. So 3 on the near side. They'll throw a screen pass. Gilmore with a little bit of room. Had blockers out in front. Picks up about 5, maybe 6. It'll leave down third down, at about 4.
Again, similar style type of play. You just want to get your quarterback a couple completions, get him back in rhythm with this receiving core who, through the first 3 weeks of the season, had tremendous success.
Actually, it was Trayvon Elliott, on the reception, not Tyquan Gilmore. As we'll go on third down, Elliott and Gilmore on the near side together. 2 receivers out to the far side. Hunt is the wide man, deep on the screen. Doyle wants to throw. He'll keep it. Now he'll pitch it downfield looking for Calvin Littles, and it's just over his head. And good coverage on the far side by Riverside. Looked like it was Cade Miller covering him.
Nice coverage, nice roll out there by Colton Doyle. Good little touch on the ball, just wasn't there. Receiver's route was impeded a bit. Timing wasn't there. So, again, this is that heavyweight bout we talked about. There's going to be sequences like this where these two teams exchange blows.
And a late flag on COC, it looks like, as Julian Salazar was coming off the field. The flag was thrown behind him.
Well, maybe a little confusion on the personnel there.
Yep. And the umpire came all the way over to the COC sidelines to say something to Coach Iacenda, who's now talking to Julian Salazar. So it's definitely something that was so it's just a sideline warning. So there you go. Too many guys on, close to the field there.
That's when
the way he walked over, it looked like it was going to be a penalty against COC. I was thinking some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct or whatnot.
Well, I started to say that's when you get the old back up call on the sideline. Maybe just, like you said, encroached a little bit too close.
So the Cougars will kick here. It's not Ty Morrison back kicking for COC. As this punt is a decent one, wobbling. It'll land at about the 40 and take a Cougar bounce. And a flag, I believe it was a fair catch called by Marquise Ashley, and that's what gets us the whistle. As it was Max Bagley back to punt for the Cougars.
Waved it off and then maybe kind of changed his mind, thought he could have made something of it. So again, Matt, here we go, 8:33 to go, first quarter. Beautiful night here, Cougar Stadium. Lively crowd.
Yeah, pretty good size on hand for this one. It's the third Cougar home game of the season. Just 2 more regular season home games against Allen Hancock after the bye, and then to finish out the year against Ventura here at home. As on 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line, Riverside will hand off, and Kinslow with a couple of yards, maybe 2 or 3. We'll call it 3. It'll bring up second down at about 7.
Big pile of Cougars down there. I see big number 19, Taylor Lewis, there in the middle. Always a defensive stalwart for the Cougars. Takes up a lot of space down there. Big, strong, powerful guy.
We'll see if Riverside continues to control the clock in the backfield with Kinslow and Connors back there. Bud, the quarterback, standing in the shotgun, will fake the handoff, tucks it to throw, and thrown over the middle and broken up by the Cougars, as it was intended for Houston, and it looked like it was Tylen Foster on the play. Actually, it was Dre Falls.
Dre Falls.
Yeah,
We're right
Dre
there
Falls.
with him step by step, came right over the top and was able to jar that ball loose.
Dre's got that long hair on his jersey. I couldn't tell if it was a 0 or a 3. But he makes a nice play. It'll bring up 3rd and 7 here for Riverside. As Bud going to throw once again. Going to be chased down from behind. And look who it is. We've already called his name 4 times. Jonathan Thomas in the backfield again.
Well, you know what? I never get tired of it. Big JT, number 5, having an impact on this game and on this season. Feeling good about himself tonight, and that's a tremendous result.
So a good job by the Cougar defense after the sustained drive from Riverside. The Cougars force a 3 and out after the Thomas sack. Cougars will have Littles and Elliott standing right about their own 30-yard line here, as this punt is a high one. Little's going to call for the fair catch and going to make it on his backside at about the 25-yard line.
Nice job reeling that in and making sure no mistakes. So again, one of the other keys we talked to. Matt, I'd like to see the Cougars maybe take a page out of the Riverside playbook right here. Go ahead and establish that run, get that prolonged drive like we talked about. We'll see with that much talent and offensive speed out there. Sometimes quick to resign yourself to running the ball when you've got all those toys you want to play with. But again, nice to have the option to do both. But let's get this big offensive line working and running out there. I think that's really going to be the key.
And I think it's especially interesting because last week for the Cougars, as you were saying, they get the run game established. That's what they did with Cyrus Zoul back there. Helped Tony Yankehifu, get his feet wet a little bit as they go with Zoul, and he pounds his way through the middle of the field and picks up about 6 yards.
Yeah, Matt, you're exactly right. That's what happened last week in the one, I guess you could say, extended drive, the 14-play scoring drive against Palomar. 53 rush yards that series, most of which came by way of Cyrus Zoul. So, again, you get him going. He finished the game with 2 touchdowns and a whole heck of a lot of scrimmage yards. So, again, key to get him going just like everybody else out there.
2nd down and 4 here for the Cougars as Zoul stays in the backfield. Gilmore, the wide man on the near side. Elliott tucked in on the far side as they'll throw here. And they look for Trayvon Elliott, and he's got enough for a Cougar first down.
Again, just enough to move the sticks. Nice little pitch and catch. You're still working on getting that timing and sequencing right between Colton Doyle and his guys. Nice pull to seal the edge. He's got a personal protector out there. And again, move the chains. Trayvon Elliott.
And you really expect Elliott and Gilmore to be kind of the guys that he does look to. Cal Littles has had a nice little season so far, as has Andre Hunt. But Gilmore and Elliott are really his guys as the year goes on and on. As he'll throw here on first down, Doyle steps up, wants a big one, has a man downfield looking for Hunt, and it's in and out of his hands.
Well, that is a tough break. Colton Doyle, with all the time in the world back there, kind of just wound up and found it, hit his man. I felt like Hunt even kind of slowed down to catch it, just wasn't able to reel it in. That is a tough ball over your shoulder.
I think if you ask Andre Hunt, though, he wants it back every day.
And 9 out of 10, he's making that play.
So a good shot here on first down. It'll bring up second down and 10 from the Cougar 41-yard line. As they had the man deep downfield and he beat his man. So you shake it off, you come back to work with Zool in the backfield. 3 wide out there, an extra body in to block. They'll hand off to Zool. He'll run. Doesn't have much. Gets 3 yards as he's able to work his way through the pile just a bit. And it'll bring up third down.
You know, and Matt, we saw Andre Hunt in a couple of long scoring plays. I believe both over 50 yards. So, you know, you said we'll come back and we'll try it again. Don't be surprised if you come back and try that same play at some point. I wouldn't be shocked to see it later in the game.
I wouldn't be shocked to see it right now, to be quite honest, knowing the way the Cougars are. As we'll go here on 3rd and 8, they'll mark it. 4 receivers out there for the Cougars here. They need a big one on third down. Another big third down, trying to sustain a drive. Doyle has some room. Will throw over the middle, and pass defended nicely by Carlton Johnson. Pass was intended for Calvin Littles, and Johnson got his hand in there and knocked it away.
Yeah, initially when I saw it, I thought, maybe that's going to draw a flag. But again, we'll look at that angle. That's just a good, clean play. Broke it up. Riverside gets off the field.
And the Riverside defense standing tall here early on. The Cougars' 6 points came off of a defensive touchdown, a pick 6. Riverside defense showing their teeth a little bit here, as they're middle of the pack defensively during the year, but still have held the Cougar offense to a couple of short drives. As this punt by Begley going to be taken at about the 25-yard line. Flag way in the middle of the field. We'll see what the flag is, as it was Ashley on the return.
Again, we'll wait to see the penalty. I think that was Josh Christopher on the takedown.
Yeah, you don't like that right there, a holding penalty on the return, especially with the fact that you had Ashley kind of wrapped up. Oh, actually, sorry, it's on the return team, not on the kicking team. So you don't like that if you're Riverside. For Canyons, you'll take it. You did a good job on coverage, and you get a penalty on top of it. I heard return team, and for whatever reason, my brain said kicking team. It happens. We go here on first down. Way back at the 15-yard line. Bud, empty back set. Will throw quickly. That went in and out of the hands of his receiver. Too much on it for Marquise Ashley to try and pull it down. It'll bring up second down at 10.
Quick pass, definitely had some pressure coming off the edge. I saw Julian Salazar take off with a head of steam, getting after the quarterback.
Maybe a little frustrated after the sideline warning and the talking to.
And he's another guy, not one of the state leaders in sacks, but definitely a guy that has gone out there, made some big plays, some turnovers, some tackles for loss.
Yeah, the tackle number's kind of down for him this year, just 8. He's only got 1 sack as well, but definitely a guy that can make an impact as things move on. As here we go on second down. They'll throw a screen pass to Connors. He gets around 1 tackle and then leaps out of bounds. I don't know if he got enough to get the first down. He might be a half a yard short. We'll wait and see where the spot is. Nope, they're going to move the chains. It'll be a first down.
I was going to say definitely a good job making the first tackler miss and getting upfield. And Cougars will start all over here.
As you had him pinned deep, As they go quick here, they'll throw again to the outside. Little screen for Riverside. And that seems to be working pretty well for the Tigers here, trying to keep the teeth of the defense, which has been the defensive front for the Cougars, off the field essentially.
Yeah, definitely the Tigers feeling more comfortable bouncing things outside, letting those big backs try and get around the Cougar DBs.
As they'll run here this time, and not much to go, but it's enough for a first down as they needed about a half a yard, and they got it. So another first down here for Riverside. Vradenberg was in on the tackle. As we're inside 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Riverside driving once again, trying to find their first lead of the ball game after they gave up a pick six to open the game. Plenty of time for Bud here. Now he's going to scramble and just throw it out of play. And he almost held on to it for about 3 or 4 seconds too long. A couple of big bodies trying to chase him down.
I was going to say, awful comfortable there for the first few seconds of that. And then, like you said, the pressure's eventually going to get to you. And had big 46 on his heels before it was all over.
As we'll go here on second down and 10. Bud has Connors in the backfield, will fake the handoff, wants to throw, looking downfield, has a man caught by Ty Moore, and it's enough for Riverside first down. Good play design by Riverside once again there, Jesse.
Yeah, definitely. And again, the pressure there, Salazar had a path, was just blocked well enough, and the route give the route enough time to develop. And again, this is what Riverside has been able to do historically, get into their offense and dictate the pace of the game. Cougars trying to battle back here.
Riverside's had the ball in their possession for most of this first quarter. Has nowhere to go for Connors that time. In the backfield to take him down was Cole Bullock.
Yeah, that's a nice job again. Not just getting to the ball carrier, but being able to wrap up and take him down, finishing the play.
And that's something we haven't seen out of the defensive backs for the Cougars much this year, that ability to wrap guys up and bring them down in the backfield or close to it. They gave him a yard, so he fell forward for 1. Bud will throw here on second down, throws the little screen to Connors again. Cougars trying to get ahead to get a tackle, and they do this time, leaving Riverside short of the first down by about 4 yards.
I believe that was Abdul Latif Adu finally getting in there with a stop. Another one of those sophomores. Again, don't often call his name on a regular basis, but I think a lot of that's because they do not throw to his side.
Yeah, he's a
tremendous shutdown
guy
over there. But
kind of a Jalen Ramsey style.
Starter say can definitely come up and make the tackle when need be.
There's an empty back set here on 3rd and 4 for Riverside. I don't know if there was movement up front or it was just a good snap count by the Tigers. And yeah, neutral zone infraction on the defense.
Well, didn't just
the
got one.
The entire defense.
Caught them all. So pick a number down there.
Every single Cougar was pretty much over the line of scrimmage.
It brought an eruption from the Tiger sideline.
And now Riverside slowing it down once again. And you can see very deliberate from the Riverside Tigers, Tom Kraft and his side, making sure they control the football here in this first quarter. I'd love to look at the time of possession numbers as Riverside wants to throw, and just a broken route that time for the Tigers. You're looking it up for me, aren't you, right now?
I'm trying
I know you are.
Riverside has held the ball 6:48 so far tonight.
Compared to just 3 minutes for the Cougars, so doubling up COC here early on. And you had to know that's the game plan coming in, right?
Absolutely. And, you're coming off the loss, you know that they had a plan in mind, what they wanted to do, what they wanted to do to get back on track for their team and program. So far, being able to execute.
As they'll throw here again. That pass caught by Ashley on the outside, and it's enough for a first down. Good-looking throw from Bud Burney, excuse me. I've been going backwards the whole time. And another Riverside first down. So Burney in the backfield once again. That hard count trying to draw the Cougars off. Now he'll look at the sidelines. Has 5 wide out there here on 1st and 10. Steps back, looking to throw. Underneath, Ashley, and he'll just run out of bounds. It'll bring up 2nd down at about 5. Abdul Latif Adu over there to kind of cover him up. Call it 2nd and 4. Riverside changing it up. 3 receivers bunched on the far sideline. They'll give to Kinslow, and he's met after he gets about a yard by Julian Salazar.
Crunch time here for the Cougar defense.
Same set for Riverside here. Kinslow still in the backfield. Low snap, handoff to Kinslow, and he's brought down in the backfield. I don't know how Jonathan Thomas brought him down. He had a Tiger laying on top of him.
Yeah, and that dude makes plays. He finds a way to get into the backfield. He'll take the smallest opening, increase his body in there. Again, that's a big-time play on 3rd down when your team needs it the most.
As it was Tavita Fumayano on top of him, had a hold of his jersey, as you could see on the replay.
And Riverside lined up fast and tight in there. Thought they were going to surge ahead for that yard. That's a nice job, bring the quarter to an end.
As that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. 7-all here between Canyons and Riverside. We'll come back in just a minute.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Welcome back into College of the Canyons. Time for, we'll actually do it after the kick here. So we'll wait for the extra point. We're going to do the alumni spotlight, but they look like they're ready to go, so. And so it'll be a 35-yarder here for Ricardo Chavez. Snap is down, kick is up, plenty of leg. And it is good. Riverside will take the lead. This is time for the COC Sports Information Alumni Spotlight, Jesse.
Matt, want to give you a little bit of update about our good friend Brian Mills, College of the Canyons class of 2018. Of course, signed with the Seattle Seahawks earlier this offseason as an undrafted free agent. Spent some time in camp with them, then landed with the Saints for a couple preseason games. But breaking news this week out of Cleveland, Brian Mills has signed with the Cleveland Browns practice squad, and we are all very excited for that young man, a hard worker and a tremendous representation of College of the Canyons football. Brian Mills, this I promise, young man. Good luck the rest of this season.
So Riverside on the board with an extra point.
Well, there we see one of our other famous alumni. That's going to be Marquise Brown, Baltimore Ravens, having a good start to his season, coming in with 15 receptions, 2 touchdowns, and 235 yards. Big game at the Broncos this weekend. Marquise, good luck to you as well.
As the kickoff low line drive by Chavez taken out by Elliott. He's got a hole right through the middle of the field and gets all the way back to the 35-yard line.
Trayvon Elliott, another one of those game breakers for the Cougars out of Indianapolis, Indiana. I know some people in that part of the country that are watching. Want to say hello to them and, of course, the Elliott family. Great job out there. Perhaps the spark that Cougar offense needs here to get going as we get into the second quarter and settle into what has so far been everything we expected, man.
Yeah, actually, it's been a very, very good game here as a nice little return to start. So the Cougars with their best field position of this first half as we are in the second quarter. And Cole Doyle still there in the backfield, running the offense for COC. Will hand off to Cyrus Zoul, tries to get the edge, lowers his pads, and is able to fight ahead for about 5 yards.
Cyrus Zoul, good tough run. I think that's something he doesn't always get a lot of credit for, but he certainly has the ability to go between the tackles, bounce it out, get his head down, and get those tough yards when he needs to.
Call it 2nd and 5. He gets about half the chain, so the Cougars ahead of schedule here on 2nd down. 4 receivers out there for COC. Zoul stays in the backfield. Cougars going to change their look here after Riverside jumped a bit on the snap count by Cole Doyle. As he'll take the snap, hands off to Zoul, fell down, stayed on his feet. I thought he went all the way down, but he did not. Gets enough for the first down and more.
We talked about the power, but right there flashing some of the agility. Like you said, Matt, almost goes down to the ground. We'll see how he was able to prop himself back up. That's the old hand on the ground trick and drill that I know that our running backs coach runs with him every week.
Zoul just 25 carries coming in, 89 yards. He hasn't had a really big output at all this year, but he hasn't had the opportunity. Maybe they're going to start going to him a little bit more, try and control the clock. As we stay with 4 wide here, Zoul still in the backfield. Doyle will throw on 1st down. Wants a big one again, looking downfield for Calvin Littles, and it's just over his head, out of his reach once again. That's the 3rd time the Cougars have gone downfield and just not been able to connect here, Jesse.
Yeah, definitely looking to take their shots when they can. The coverage has been there. Once again, step for step, that was a good ball. Just the receiver couldn't get there. His route maybe impinged a little bit. But here we go, and don't be surprised if you see the Cougars take another shot either on this play or on this series.
This was DeMarco Moore out on the coverage. So we'll 2nd down and 10. Same set for the Cougars here. Gilmore, the man to the near side. Elliott slotted on the inside on the far side of the field. They'll throw to the outside to Andre Hunt, and that's another ball that's dropped. That one was right in the strike zone, and you just maybe heard the footsteps.
Mm-hmm. And again, credit to the Riverside Tigers being able to get there, timing-wise, being able to get a hand in, whatever it may be, to rip that ball up, break up that play. Cougars going to have to do a better job of executing here down the stretch, though.
3rd down and 10. 3 receivers stacked out to the far side. Hunt is the wide man on the far side. TQ Gilmore, the wide man on the near side, with Zoul in the backfield. Doyle. 3-step drop, will step up, tucks it, runs, has a block in front of him, stays on his feet, lowered his shoulders, and he's got enough for a 1st down. There's a flag, though, on the near sideline, and we'll see what the flag is for.
Well, I think that's going to be a helmet-to-helmet or some sort of a late hit. I'll tell you 2 things I like right there. The block pickup, Cyrus Zoul, and Colton Doyle finally being able to get out in front, flash his legs. We'll wait for the foul here.
They called it on Cade Miller for unnecessary roughness. I think it might have been Peter Lewis that you saw in the replay, kind of lower his shoulders, lower his head, tucked it down, and went right helmet to helmet with Cole Doyle.
Well, I started to say the 2 things I liked and the one I didn't. Colton Doyle, tremendous job getting upfield, but protect yourself, young man. You don't want to go in head down like that.
Cougars now have moved the ball all the way up inside the 30-yard line of Riverside here. Spotted on the 29, 1st and 10. A good chance for COC to threaten here in this 2nd quarter. Just really the 3rd time the Cougars have possessed the football, as they'll hand off to Zoul. Spins in the hole, still on his feet, across the 15, inside the 10. Wow, I don't know how he stayed on his feet. He had about 4 arm tackles he broke and had a big spin as well.
Oh, man, look at that. There's the old Madden spin. And just gets upfield, a stiff
Breaks
arm
one there.
again, the agility, gets out of another one. Here's the 4th guy, and they finally get him down. But again, we talked about it. Cyrus Zoul, one of those guys that needs those carries, needs to be able to get his timing and his feel for the game to be able to be truly effective. And I think really getting a taste of it here on this series.
As the Cougars come in 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Moises Haynes in there this time, as Zoul needed a break after that nice run. 2 wide receivers out to the near side. Doyle to throw, wants one in the end zone, looking for Elliott, and he's out of bounds on the backside. Official was saying he was out before he even caught the pass.
Yeah, the connection was there just a little bit too long in that narrow space there. The back of the end zone. Love the protection. Good ball. And he tried everything he could to drag. You even see the drag mark on the turf. Just wasn't in the cards on that one.
As they'll bring Calvin Littles back in, Hunter Smith will run back off. They had him in as a protector for Cole Doyle, and it's 2nd and goal from the 8. Cougars would like a touchdown here, get themselves back into the lead as they'll send Elliott in motion. 3 receivers, they'll pitch to Haynes, wants to get the edge. Inside the 5, leaps for the end zone, and they'll mark him out at about the 2, I think. But a good run for Moises Haynes.
Good run and great extension there, trying to finish that play and find his way into the end zone. Like you said, right around the 2, maybe just got a little upended, but definitely had his nose set on the pylon there.
So it'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 2. Cougars taking their time getting to the line here, and they look like they've got a jumbo set out there as a couple of defensive players out on the field. Bullock, the lead blocker. DeJour Dixon out there as well as one of the big tight ends. They're going to run it right up the middle with Moises Haynes, and I think he got into the end zone. Yes, he did. Moises Haynes, Cougars touchdown.
Well, you called it from the get-go, Matt. You bring in the jumbo package. You get those linemen, narrow up their splits a little bit, and just line up and tee off. Tremendous job, Moises Haynes. We said it already. Had a nose for the end zone. Was finally able to punch it in there.
Take another look on the Jersey Mike Subs replay.
Just gets behind his blocker in the pulling guard. Finds the end zone. Good hard-nosed run.
Gotta like it if you're COC. The drive you needed, sustained, and sustained for COC, really. They were methodical with it, took their time, went down the field, and put up a touchdown, and they're back in the lead by 4, 14-10. Call it a 9-play, 70-yard drive. Took about 4 minutes off the clock, 3 minutes off the clock.
Again, didn't churn up the time that a traditional sustained drive did, but what I liked most about it, you got the run game involved. You got Cyrus Sewell feeling it. You got Moises Haynes able to plunge into the end zone there. So, again, a lot of things working. You worry about the time later. You got the results you wanted. And, again, an opportunity for this offense to find its groove, so to speak.
Folks, SCV TV Community Center is Santa Clarita's only television station bringing you local arts, culture, history, and entertainment programming 24/7. You can tune in on Spectrum Channel 20, AT&T, Channel 99, Apple TV, Roku, scvtv.com, and Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. One of our awesome partners here at College of the Canyons for COC Football, partnering with the Cougar Sports Network along with SoCal College Sports. As that ball handled right about the 10-yard line on a line drive kick by Connors, and he's taken down at about the 20-yard line. Interesting, the second time Connors has tried to handle one that maybe he might have just been better off letting go out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, you're right. And, again, you give this Cougar special teams an opportunity to come down there, swarm to the ball. You know they're already feeling good about the scoring drive. Defense looked fantastic last time out. So, again, those building blocks in the game, you come out, you get into a rhythm, you have some positive success, you go out there and try and do it again.
It's Bud Burney in the backfield as we get going once again for Riverside here, marked at their own 22-yard line. Bud fakes, shoulder fake again, still looking, now wants to throw sideline, and that one never had a chance for Marquise Ashley. Good coverage by the Cougars that time, Jesse.
Yeah, good coverage, and again, Riverside having a lot of time to be able to look around and see what they want to do. You see the defensive lineman, just trying to get a hand up there.
That's a dangerous throw from Bud Burney into the double coverage of the Cougars. We've already seen him jump one route on a similar style play. Riverside going to take their time back up to the line here, 2nd and 10. Burney will throw here, 5-step drop rolls, dumps it off inside, and not much room for Kinslow to run as he's brought down maybe after a gain of 4. Taylor Lewis there on the tackle. And it'll bring up 3rd and 5. Bernie will look at the sidelines. Kinslow, the lone back in the backfield. 2 receivers out to each side. He'll throw here on 3rd and 5. Had pressure right up the middle. Looking downfield. Was trying to find Ty Moore. And he had Henry Ikehifu right in his face on the throw.
Well, I was going to say, didn't get the sack, but definitely delivered some punishment. That is not something I would want to be in the way of. And again, having an impact on this ball game, maybe not in the stat book right there, but that's a big play, and that's something that the Tiger quarterback's going to think about later on here in the game.
Well, and I think the control he shows too there gets him right in the strike zone, right in the chest, doesn't make contact with the helmet and draw a penalty. It's something a lot of young players at the JUCO level may have more trouble with, and that's just a smart heads-up play by a good linebacker. That's a bad kick. And it'll bounce right about the midfield stripe, and then there's a flag at the 40-yard line as Chavez just missed it.
Well, and Josh Madison there to apply pressure. He was close. And again,
so move it back. It was going to be spotted at the 48. It'll be spotted at the Cougar 42 instead. And they'll take over there, but their best field position of the ball game right after a touchdown on their last drive.
Still a healthy start.
Folks, are you following Cougar Football on social media? If you're not, you should. At COCFB on Instagram and Twitter. You can get the latest news, notes, information, stats, highlights, live stream links. Everything is right there for you on the COC Football social media pages, and you can follow all 17 Cougar Athletics programs as well. Just head to the COC Athletics website for those social media handles. That's the word I was looking for. As Doyle will throw on 1st down on a screen play. Not much room to run for Tim Wiggins. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. No, they'll say the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Yeah, good to see Tim Wiggins out there getting involved. Again, Cougars going back to that outside passing game, trying to get up the sidelines, which they have found a lot of success with in recent games. You get a guy out there in space, maybe some blockers up the sideline. Not too much here yet tonight, but again, a part of their bread and butter offense.
So we'll go here on 2nd and 10. Doyle to throw, has plenty of time, rolls to his right, throws over the middle, dangerous pass, nearly intercepted by Carlton Johnson, as the target that time was Taekwon Gilmore.
I want to point out number 77, Thomas Adame here, single-handedly took on 2 of the Tiger defenders and held them both at bay. That's a nice job. Again, this offensive line going to be the key for things here tonight. Plays like that will certainly help make that a reality.
3rd and 10 here for the Cougars, so a stall on this drive after a short pass that was broken up, thanks in part to a little bit of a slip by Tim Wiggins. That second pass into dangerous area that I think probably Cole Doyle lucky is incomplete, and we go here on 3rd down. He'll throw on 3rd down. 5-step drop, throws downfield, over the middle, and it's out of the reach again, but there's a flag in the middle of the field, and I'm not sure if it's going to be pass interference, holding. He was looking for Tim Wiggins. I know Gilmore was coming off the other side. We'll take a look.
Well, Cole Doyle takes a hit and gets flopped on, but then, yeah, like you said, just a little bit on that underneath route, even though they were looking for Wiggins. And like I said, Colton Doyle kind of got collapsed on there by the big defensive lineman. Good to see him pop right back up. Cougars will take that result and try to build upon it.
As it was Zion Slade on the route for the Cougars that got kind of clutched and grabbed, and that results in the holding penalty. What against Peter Lewis. On 1st down, the Cougars will run. Moises Haynes just looking for room, and he's able to find about 5 yards. Good job by the offensive line there from COC to give him enough room to work.
Yeah, that was Donovan Reyes out there coming up from Ulysses S. Grant High School. Nice pull and block on there. Again, those hard yards. Moises Haynes and Cyrus Zool have both shown a knack for being able to put the head down and go into the pile.
And Haynes, the leading rusher in terms of yardage out of the backfield, not named Cole Doyle. Cole Doyle, obviously the quarterback. Free play here for the Cougars. Doyle knows it, wants to take a shot downfield, looking for Gilmore in the end zone, and it's broken up. Gilmore wants a flag, not going to get it. Doesn't matter anyway. It's a free play.
Yeah, and that was another nice ball. Colton Doyle really coming out of his hand nice when he has the time to wind up and step into it. You take the shot. If you're TQ, of course, you want it. You want your 5th touchdown of the year, I believe.
I think he had a case for an interference penalty. Receiver open, DB draped all over him, but official says no. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Cougars need a yard to get to the sticks and move the chains. They're marking it at the 39-yard line. COC needs to get to the 38 here. They'll look at the sidelines as Haynes is the back in the backfield. He'll switch sides with Cole Doyle here. 6 on the play clock for the Cougars. They need to get organized. And they do, but not before Coach Iacenda says, I want to take a timeout and make sure that we're okay here.
Yeah, that would have been really close. I think Ted just didn't want to fret about it. Go ahead and take the timeout, regroup, make sure everyone's on the same page.
Folks, make sure you check out Busy Bees Cafe and Barbecue, the best barbecue in town here at Cougar Stadium. Down behind the Cougar Stadium stands. Come get a taste of every Cougar home game. And if not, look them up on the web and go check out Busy Bees Cafe. Folks, Jersey Mike's is a proud sponsor of COC Cougar Football. If you're tired of cooking at home, make sure you head to Jersey Mike's and get a nice sub. My favorite, the number 7, turkey and provolone. Jesse, yours?
I'm going to have to go with the Club Supreme.
There you go.
Roast beef, turkey, and bacon. But again, just want to say thank you to Jersey Mike's for all that they do to support Cougar Athletics, a long-standing and proud partner of ours, and we are happy to showcase them here in the booth tonight. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
A sub above. As while we come back, we'll thank SCV TV as well, our partner. Make sure you can check out all the Cougar home games on scvtv.com, their Facebook, Instagram, Twitter accounts, as well as Spectrum Channel 20, AT&T 99. Is that ball on the ground? Going to be picked up by Riverside finally. I thought they were going to scoop it. And it's a bad snap, a muff snap, and a turnover as the Cougars were driving. And one of the keys, Jesse, protect the football, and the Cougars turn it over.
Yeah, that's an absolutely disappointing result, especially coming out of the timeout.
And I want to ask, as you take a look at Coach Iacenda here as the play turns away, Cole Doyle under center. We don't see that ever. How much of that is maybe unfamiliar territory?
Yeah, you know, it could be. And again, like you said, coming out of the timeout, maybe something that they shifted to that he maybe wasn't absolutely on the same page with. Again, Cougars had an opportunity to pounce on that and scoop it up. Not sure what happened. That ball gets slippery out there on the turf.
Oh, it's a big hit by Jonathan Thomas. But Bud Burney, give him credit, man. He stood there, took a lick, and completed a pass for about 6 yards.
Yeah, Jonathan Thomas definitely leaving everything he has out there tonight. Tigers with the positive result. But again, those hits, you add up a few of those start to compound on each other. It could have an impact on this game. Tigers, though, on the move.
As Ty Moore was the one that made the reception. As we go here on 2nd down and 4, they'll hand off to Connors, and he's got enough for a first down.
Again, 4, 5, 6 more of those hard yards. Cougars there to meet them, and this has been a battle in the trenches every step of the way.
I mean, not unexpected, I think, Jesse, from either side for this to be a battle in the trenches. I think a little bit more to Riverside's advantage, wouldn't you say, as that's kind of been their offense and their style.
I'd definitely say they've been quicker to get into their game plan. That's for certain, but this has been a chess match every step of the way.
As they'll hand off again to Connors. He gets a block that took Jonathan Thomas out of the play. I thought he was down. They say he's still on his feet. Now the pile pushing. I thought the tackle was made by Justin Horton. We'll take another look here.
Maybe about 4 or 5 yards back. Again, we'll see. Shifty little.
I don't know if he ever touched anything but Justin Horton.
A little bit blocked there just by all the bodies in the way. But again, a nice run.
So Riverside driving here again. They're on the Cougar 21 free play. They look to the end zone, and that one incomplete. And it'll bring up 1st and 5 as the flag is going to go against COC for offside. As they didn't hear who they got. They said 92, Vekic. So 1st and 5 from the 16-yard line here for Riverside, as Connors has been the exclusive back in the backfield for the Tigers. 3 touchdowns on the year for him, now 4 actually, because he had the first one of the day for Riverside, as he's kind of their closer in the red zone, which is where they sit right now. 1st and 5 from the 16-yard line.
College of Canyons needs to make a play right here.
So they hand to Connors again, waits patiently, but maybe gets 2 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down at about 3, as already half the sticks were taken up after the penalty.
Again, Matt, this is that point in the field, bend, don't break. You've got them down here. A sack, a tackle for loss, something like that to really just kind of halt this Tigers offense. Cougars would like nothing more.
That's been the story of the COC defense pretty much all year long, as this one thrown into the end zone and broken up on the far side. Abdul Latif Adu in coverage to take it away from Jamal Houston.
Now that is a fine play. You're going to see right here with him, step for step in coverage, playing the receiver's eyes, just gets his hands up there right at the last second. And that's a D1 play right there, ladies and gentlemen. Nice job.
I would not be surprised to see him playing on Saturday at a Division I level next year. He's been very good as a corner for the Cougars, as it's 3rd and 3. Bernie throws, pass, picked off by the Cougars as it's taken away by Alan Smith. A flag, a couple of flags, laundry all over the field, but it's another interception. This one a big one, a turnover in the red zone by for COC.
And look where it starts, number 51. Brian Snoke coming off the edge. Look at this pressure, delivers the hit. And like we talked about coming into the game, you pressure the quarterback, you hit the quarterback, good things will happen for your defense.
I think watching that replay, Jesse, that hit Jawan Tucker and bounced into Alan Smith's arms. You'll take it any way you can get it.
Absolutely, and like we talked about, that's what happens, when the Cougars backs to the wall, line up, go out and try and make a play, help your team. That's exactly what they did. I know Coach Cobert's got to be excited about that.
As we take another look at the replay here, and it's hard to tell by that look, but maybe Smith just got his hands on it and took it away. As we'll go on 1st and 10 for the Cougars from their own 6-yard line, as they'll keep it with Cole Doyle. He's got room to run, cuts it back up the middle. Boy, you got to like how Cole Doyle just never afraid to lower the shoulder and go.
Not at all. Like I said, protect yourself, young man, but in circumstances like that where it works, see the big block, 675, 9 with the seal, and he's up and away down the field. Nice hard run. This kid can do it all.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Cougars. They get themselves out of trouble. Doyle will throw. Nope. They kill it. And it might be an illegal formation by the Cougars. We'll wait and see. Nope, offside. With contact. There you go. That's why.
I was going to say, it came right across the center. I don't think the center jumped. But again, we started to talk about Cole Doyle doing it with his legs and his arm. Has shown the touch, has shown the arm strength, can definitely speed and scamper up the field. And again, another one of those weapons for the Cougars to turn to. Put the ball in his hands and see what happens.
As Doyle here on 1st and 5 will hand off to Cyrus Zool, wanting to get around the corner. And a smart little run from Cyrus Zool gets enough to get to the chains, and it's a Cougar 1st down. Didn't have a lot of room to work, but enough to get the 5 yards that were needed.
Yeah, and like you said, protects the ball, gets upfield, gets out of bounds. Again, one of those guys, get him in rhythm, in which they have looked to do tonight. Him and Moises Haynes both finding success on the ground.
As we go here, 1st and 10. Doyle to throw here, wanting a big one, looking downfield for Taekwon Gilmore. Pass caught at the 30-yard line, inside the 20 to the 10, and it's a Cougar touchdown! Taekwon Gilmore!
Taekwon Gilmore, beautiful ball and beautiful catch. Step back and let's watch Colton Doyle with 3 men coming up in his face. Delivers. the scoring strike to his favorite target, TQ Gilmore. We'll see it right here on the Jersey Mike's replay. You're going to see the pressure right up front. Colton Doyle, calm, cool, and collected, takes the hit, my Lord, but able to find his man streaking down the sideline. And I've said it once, I'll say it again, you are not going to catch TQ Gilmore after that.
Flag on the extra point. It's 12 men on the field against Riverside, so it'll make it a little bit easier of a job for Andrew Oxlage, who's on to take over. So Ty Morrison missed time last week, didn't finish out last week, started the game today, but not in there now at this point, so maybe that injury aggravated just a little bit, whatever it may be. So you press in your backups in Oxlage and Max Bagley, who is slotted in as the backup punter. So an easier kick here for Oxlage. As the extra point hits the upright. So the point after, no good. It's a 10-point lead, though, for the Cougars. 4:23 to go in the first half.
Take a look at that replay here. Kick was good. Snap was good. Kick was up. Just hooked it a bit. And again, we'll see how that plays out again in a close game like this. You want every point you can get, especially against a dangerous Riverside team.
Folks, the COC Sports Information Department, who is standing right next to me to my left right now as I say this, would like to remind you the COCathletics.com is your place to visit all year long for news, information, statistics, photos, live stream links related to all 17 Cougar sports programs, including your Cougar football team. Make sure you go there and you follow COC Athletics on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the whole 9 yards, whatever social media you use, we have. Go follow.
Matt Robinson doing my bidding for me, promoting all things College of the Canyons athletics, and I certainly appreciate him for doing so. And I will just echo that sentiment. Come down and follow us. Lots of good stuff on those channels.
As Morrison to kick, it's a low line drive kick taken at the 5-yard line. Returned by Riverside as it's Ty Moore all the way out to the 32, maybe 33. And it'll put Riverside in a really good spot here with decent field position. And actually it was not Ty Moore, it was, I'll figure it out. I don't know who it is. I don't have him on my roster.
Matt, while we have a minute here, just want to give a quick hello to former COC offensive coordinator Seth Ozaransky, now at Delaware State. Came away with a big win today against Wagner College. I'll tell you more about that in a minute.
Bernie to throw here, has to dump it off. Good coverage by the Cougars, and then a bunch of COC Cougars there to knock down Connors. Ika Hihifu was one, Foster was another. And it looks like Connors is hurt. He took a hard crunch by about 4 blue jerseys right there.
I tell you, that'll do it. Those sustained hits, that punishment starting to take a toll. Let's see how this play wraps up.
Yeah, he got hit from behind, too. Taylor Lewis coming in to make a pop as well.
Matt started to say, and I'll try and get it in, Delaware State 33-27 over Wagner College with Trey Richardson and, Trey Verlar, Tyler Richardson playing on that Wagner team, part of our 2019 squad. Good to see a Cougar reunion back east.
As a whistle, I'm not sure what for. Okay. That's what the whistle was for. Play clock didn't get reset, they say. As we go back to work now. So there was an initial whistle for a delay of game, but they say no. And Riverside will go here on 2nd down and 12. Bud wants to throw downfield, and Abdul Latif Adu nearly picked it off.
There's that man again, making another one of those big-time plays like he does. Surprised that Riverside has thrown to him this many times. You usually don't see that many opportunities for Adu. But again, stepping up and making plays all over the field.
It's a good matchup on that far side with Jamal Houston, who's been the best, or one of the best receivers for Riverside this year. 129 yards on 9 receptions and a touchdown, one of only 2 Tigers with a touchdown reception this year. And you would think 6'3" going against a defensive back is a good mark, but Ledoux standing at 6'1" and is blazing fast, running right with him. As Bernie going to throw again, looking downfield again, and I think he's lucky that one wasn't intercepted as Jovan Camacho was running around in center field just trying to find the football.
Yeah, I started to say he just, I think, turned the wrong way, got his hips going the wrong way. You see, tries to locate the ball. If not for that, he's got it turned around and going the other way. We saw that in week 1 against Antelope Valley. So, again, a young man that has proven he can make those types of plays. And here we go, 3:18 to go. Cougars going to get the ball back. And I would expect foot on the gas as we try and get more points. Remember, Matt, Cougars are going to have the ball coming out of halftime.
Yep.
That certainly bodes well for them.
Littles and Gilmore standing split between the 34 and the 32. It'll be to Littles here as he fields it at about the 25, wants to return it. Jukes and jives, shakes, reverses his field, has room to work. Across the 35, has a couple of blockers out in front. Now across the 50, and is taken down at the Riverside 45-yard line. Great return for Calvin Littles.
A lot of key blocks on that play. A nice spark from the defensive unit. Going to wait for Littles here to receive the ball. Watch when he cuts across middle, though. You're going to see a 23 for the Cougars. A nice seal block. Allows him to get all the way across the field. And then he's got a caravan in front of him. Felt like he was going to break it there for a minute. But absolutely, you'll take that anytime you're across field at this point in the game and that kind of time on the clock.
And he's been the most dangerous punt return man for the Cougars this year. 68 yards on one punt return with a touchdown. So he's easily the guy that you maybe don't want to kick it to at this point in time.
And now Canyons, with the luxury being on this side of the field and still ample time on the clock, do they take a shot or they get into their offense?
As they're going to run here with Cole Doyle's on a keeper right up the middle. And he's got enough for a first down all the way to the 30-yard line. And Cole continues to show no fear, just runs right through the middle like a running back.
That kid's a gamer, just puts his head down and gets the yards. Again, even closer now, what do? Do you go for the quick strike or do you try and drag this clock out, get your points, and head into the end zone? A lot of options out there. Cougars looking to the sideline now for the call.
They'll take their time here, let the play clock and the game clock tick down inside 2.5. Here to go in the first half. Zool to run, spins off one tackle, and then gets wrapped up by a second Riverside Tiger. First man in on contact that needed some help to bring him down was Caden Miller. Got some help from, I think, Isaac Garcia. We'll double-check the number.
Yeah, definitely had some help, and that was a good hard tackle. But, you know, if you're College of the Canyons, you're okay with that. Tackle me after 4 yards, and let's line up and do it again.
As we'll go 2nd and 6. Ball spotted at the Riverside 25-yard line, and now COC being very deliberate with their offense as they look back to David Banks for the signal.
I think you see check that cover, that blitzer on the edge there.
You can see Zool chips. They'll throw towards the end zone looking for Gilmore, and he catches it in the end zone. Cougar touchdown!
Again, there's that connection we talked about. He's 2 for 2 back in that side of the end zone. Love the play call, love the shift and the chip, like you said, and the timing's just there. I see our longtime photographer, Jim Bloomfield, in the end zone. I know he got a shot of that.
Tyquan Gilmore with his second of the night, and the Cougars have pushed it to a 16-point lead. As you can see, that quick strike offense showing its teeth once again. Oxlage on to try the point after, and this one is dead down the middle. So make it a 17-point lead for COC. They strike fast, and it didn't take very long. Started with 2:58 on the clock at 1:37 after 3 plays and 43 yards. The Cougars on the board once again.
And that's the name of the game for this COC offense. You get the spark on special teams, move it across midfield, and from there the whole playbook's open. Really could not have mapped out a more perfect scenario for this College of the Canyons offense. Up 17, defense playing well, heading back on the field, and like we said, ball at halftime here with your home crowd behind you.
Yeah,
all cylinders firing for the Cougars.
Yeah, absolutely. And now if you're Riverside coming back, you have to have points on this drive, especially knowing COC can get the ball back. Cougars looking like they were going to go 2 for 1. Instead, they strike on their 3rd play of the drive, which you give Riverside a chance here to try and stop the bleeding a little bit.
You give them a chance, but like I said, the way that this Cougar defense is playing,
exactly.
I don't know if you like your odds too much.
As Morrison's kick fielded at about the 5-yard line. Returned once again all the way up to the 25. And they say the tackle by Jeremiah Cox. Return was by Lauren Starks all the way back out to the 30-yard line. So 27-10 Cougars. Let's make sure you check out Busy Bees Barbecue and Cafe. Busy Bees Barbecue, the best barbecue in town here at every Cougar football home game. They are just down to our left. I might run down there and get some. It smells really good right now, Jesse. We smell it every week.
It can be torturous at times and rewarding when you finally get to it, that's for sure.
As a new quarterback in there, Barton in there for Riverside, and he's got a big chunk all the way across the 45-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. And a good Riverside run as Barton, their third-string quarterback coming in, but looking like their second string here today. Maybe a big rush for him.
Maybe a special package from him. Definitely saw the sideline erupt when he got into the game and made that play.
As he'll throw here on 1st and 10. Onto the far side, caught by Houston. He's got enough for a first down all the way across the 40-yard line. That'll stop the clock, and Riverside back-to-back plays, big chunks, and 2 first downs.
Giving them a little bit of cushion, and Riverside being able to take advantage of that. Now move the ball across midfield.
As we're inside a minute to go, whistles on the field, timeout by COC as Coach Ted Iacenda says this is a perfect time to use one. Let's slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the sense of urgency is all on Riverside's, all on Riverside to focus about. College of the Canyons, again, you don't want to let this lead that you built evaporate here heading into the second half, so why not? Take the timeout, make sure everyone's cool, calm, and collected, gain your composure, and don't let anything slip away. We got a long way to go here, Matt. And these are two talented teams that are no doubt going to make adjustments in the halftime locker room and come back ready to restart this chess match.
If you're looking for some good new local programming, make sure you check out SCV TV. Shows like Finding Art, Soundcheck, SCV TV's Community Corner, 5-Minute Foodie, historical documentaries, school broadcasts, even some sports on there. Little Cougar football showing up. You can tune into SCV TV on Spectrum Channel 20, AT&T 99, Apple TV, Roku, scvtv.com, and all of their social media channels as well. As we go here on 1st and 10 from the Cougar 40-yard line for Riverside. As they'll throw here, Barton will dump it off. Flag on Henry Ikahifu as he gets to Barton late. Pass was to Elijah Bennett, and this will give Riverside another first down. Yep. And you could see it afterwards. Henry threw his hands up and said, "What did I do? I didn't even knock him down." But I think it was just too late.
The old plead your innocence and see what happens. Again, that's another that's another chunk for the Tigers who
driving here, ball all the way up to the 20-yard line for Riverside as they got 49 seconds to work, and this change with Jordan Barton in the game has kind of sparked the Riverside offense as Barton just going to tuck it and run, has plenty of room, slides. And I'm surprised, yeah, there's the flag late. I'm not sure if it's a flag on the Cougars for contact with Barton on the slide or a hold. We'll wait and see. And it looks like it's actually a hold, and it's going to go against Fumano. So it'll be first down, and it'll back Riverside up. And that'll require a runoff as well, I believe, right? Or is it just a wind? And it's just a wind. It's not a runoff, but it essentially amounts to a runoff as an offensive penalty inside of a minute. And Riverside will go here again. Barton wants to throw. That one caught. Houston still on his feet. Gets back past the original line of scrimmage and all the way up to the Cougar 15-yard line, and a timeout by Riverside.
To see the replay, did that ball get tipped, or was it just my angle? Looked like it came out of his hand and found the receiver a little oddly.
It looked like it. I think it just was an optical illusion.
Okay.
I think it was a wobbly pass that Sean Miller waved at, because I thought the same thing, but that replay I couldn't tell.
I'll make sure my eyes aren't playing tricks on me up here.
No, I think it was just an optical illusion. Oh, okay, our producer Mike Zapata says that Sean Miller did tip it. His eye is apparently better than yours and mine, because I couldn't tell.
Well, I'm going to credit the new glasses from a few weeks ago. Good old Dr. Fitzgerald over in Canyon Country hooked me up, and that's why I was able to spot that one.
Hey, stop giving away free promotions, man.
But we got a good one here tonight, Matt.
We do, absolutely. It's a 17-point lead for the Cougars right now, but Riverside trying to strike here late. 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Barton still in at quarterback, wanting to throw to the end zone. Oh, yeah, I was going to say there's going to be an offensive pass interference flag, and if there's not, I think Ted Iacenta has every right to run down the sideline and scream and yell.
Yeah, we're just waiting on that one. I think we talk about sense of urgency. No sense of urgency from the official because it was so obvious, but
yeah,
let
Joanne
it
Tucker
be known out there.
Going to get nabbed. You could see the jersey tug.
And again, if you're College of the Canyons, you take this, continue to back them up.
And I think Alan Smith picks him off
Yeah.
if he doesn't kind of pull him along further. So maybe if you're Riverside, that's a good penalty.
I was going to say, you live with that one. You live to fight another day here.
So they'll back it up to the 30-yard line. It'll be, second down. And they need to get to about the 10 or 11, so I'm not sure. We'll call it 19. I think I heard 19 from somewhere to our left. Spartan to throw again, will roll, has pressure, somehow slips a tackle, slips another tackle, has all sorts of room to work, calling out for blockers, still on his feet, and finally taken down inside the 10-yard line. Ran a lot of time off the clock. Riverside needs to hustle up and get back to the line of scrimmage, or actually they take a timeout.
So Reggie Jones and Taylor Lewis both got hands on him, and that's before he bowling balled through the Cougar defense.
Got a good block from Falmano. He just bounced off three or four guys.
Again, credit the savvy on the Riverside side making that QB switch there.
They've seen something with Jordan Barton that maybe they haven't shown all year, and the Cougars having trouble with him. He has marched the ball down the field here.
Maybe when they get into their 2-minute drill, their 3-minute package, that's the guy to go to. We saw some split stats between the three Riverside quarterbacks. Weren't really sure what to expect, but we're getting a taste of it here late in the first half.
That'll be first and goal from the 8 when we come back.
And points essential here.
I mean, Barton, one for 3, 8 yards against Golden West. That's the only time he's seen action this year was last week in a loss.
And what will be especially telling here with 9 seconds to go, this has got to be next two probably. These are your got-to-have-it plays. I mean, you need these points right here to stay in this ball game. So would not be surprised if they've got 2 in mind here. Come up and see what the defense gives them. But essential for Riverside to try and get in the end zone right here.
There's a new back in the backfield as well in Elijah Bennett. So all sorts of changes for Riverside, and they've worked here to perfection. They drive the ball down the field, trying to get into the end zone. Barton to throw, still has time, looking, throws into the end zone, and a good breakup by Joshua Madison makes a hit on Elijah Bennett to knock the ball loose.
Well, we talked about a do over there on the other side making that big play. That's an equally important and just the biggest play. Again, right there in the end zone, when you know, like we just talked about, Riverside doing everything they can to get in there. Got to have it play. Here's the other one. Nice play.
Second and goal from the 8. This will probably close out the half. Just 3 seconds left. Riverside going to talk about it. Use their final timeout here of the half.
And why not? I mean, again, this is essential. Sit down, talk about it. Line up and be ready to go into the halftime locker room to make those tweaks and adjustments that every great team makes. I think they'll be coming from both sides.
You know what I'm looking forward to at halftime?
What's
Jersey
that?
Mike subs. We got a Jersey Mike sub sitting right behind us right now. Jersey Mike's your place to go. If you're tired of cooking at home and you want something different, that's where you go, Jersey Mike's. It's good food, very good fresh ingredients every day. Like I said, number 7, turkey on provolone. You really can't go wrong with anything there. Sometimes you get a hot sub, little chicken steak, chili cheese steak, something like that. I don't really know.
And we should also mention, Matt, that Jersey Mike subs hiring at all 5 Santa Cruz Valley locations,
Yes.
offering a tremendous benefits package and 401k options.
Actually, I don't know. I might go to Busy Bees, too. That's pretty good barbecue. They're down there. We want to thank them as we go here on second down. Pass into the end zone. Broken up by the Cougars, and that will end the first half. Great play on the far side of the field as it was Dre Falls in coverage to knock it loose.
College of the Canyons Cougars making plays out there. Dre Falls getting his opportunity.
And, Jesse, I don't know. That might be the SCVT must-see play of the game right there so far.
It could be. Again, the receiver had both hands on it coming down to the ground, and Dre Falls, just the old CPR, club punch, rip, do whatever you got to do to get that ball loose, and it worked.
So the Cougars will take a 27-10 lead into the break, and they will get the ball back when we come back out of halftime. College of the Canyons football here on the Cougar Sports Network, scvtv.com, and SoCalCollegeSports.com. We'll have second half action when we come back.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium, getting ready for second half action here on SoCal College Sports, SCVTV.com, and the Cougar Sports Network. And Jesse, it was a big first half, and we've got to go about taking a look at how the defense played in that first half, and really 4 big plays during that game. And they're the SCVTV must-see plays of the first half. And this one, the first one, a pick 6 by Joshua Madison, put the Cougars on the board. And from there, the rest of the DBs really did their job.
Absolutely. Right off the bat with the first pick 6, we see a little bit of glimpse of the offense. But like you said, Josh Madison really setting the tone, getting things going early. And I think maybe that defensive back unit hurt us. Now you're going to see a Latif do. Again, another big D1 play. Started to say, I think those defensive backs heard us talking about the pass rush, not giving them the due that they deserve, and they stepped up in a big way. This game would be a completely different score without these 4 plays. Again, we're going to see another big one right here. Again, in the end zone.
Alan Smith stepping in.
There's the interception. Flip the script on the Tigers. And I think the one that we all got excited about here, final play of the first half. You're going to see it right here. Big time pass breakup, Dre Falls. Just jarring that ball loose.
There's another one just before it, too, by Joshua Madison. Big play. So, yeah, the defensive backs coming through for the Cougars. They lead 27-10, Jesse, and they get the ball. And what is the philosophy, you think? Pedal to the metal right away, trying to put 6 on the board.
I think so. I think it's College of the Canyons. You know, you've shown the propensity to strike quick and often, and I think they go right back to that. 17-point cushion, never enough against a talented team like this. And like we kind of hinted at, you know that this Riverside coaching staff will have adjustments to make and tweaks to scheme as we get ready to start this second half. This is going to be a good one. It already has been already. We thank everyone for watching us here tonight across the nation and around the globe.
I think you'd be careful here if you're the Cougars. Watch for an onside kick early on. Be something that I would see Riverside pull out. Instead, they're going to kick it deep. Gilmore going to field it 5 yards deep, and he's not going to bring it out. He's mad he couldn't bring it out.
Well, TQ Gilmore, one of those athletes that thinks he can always do it, and oftentimes he is right. 2 touchdowns already and always a threat to make a play.
He wanted to come out, and I think it's, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's an SCFA rule, 5 yards deep in the end zone, it's an automatic now.
I think you're right on that one, but again, rules be darned. That young man gets the ball in his hand, and he wants to make a play.
Well, he'll get a chance here. Cougars on 1st and 10. We'll start at their own 25-yard line here to open up the second half, leading 27-10. As Colton Doyle, who has had a nice first half, got his legs under him late in that half and was really able to find his targets, will hand off to Cyrus Sewell, looking to try and get the edge, cut it back, got knocked down from behind, gets 2 yards, then it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Cyrus Sewell again. There's a lot of big-time first-half carries, a lot of hard yards. Not able to get the huge chunk plays thus far, but those hard yards are just as important, and his big offensive line doing a great job for him here tonight.
As Doyle 5 of 13, 108 in the first half. Zool 7 attempts, 54 yards in the first half. As they go to work here on 2nd down, little screen play nicely designed by the Cougars, as Hunt able to get 6 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and short. Nice little design there, Jesse.
Yeah, absolutely. Hunt, one of those guys, had a drop earlier in the game. You know, potential for a big play that the timing just wasn't there. Another one of those big-time athletes that you want to get involved, get in sync. And, Matt, here we are now 3rd and long. Big play for the Cougars here in the early going of the second half.
Doyle, a couple of touchdown passes in the first half as well. Now has 10 on the year. Should bump him up. He's already 6th in the state in touchdown passes this season. Trying to pick up a 3rd and short as he'll run. Trying to get the edge, cuts it back, dives forward, and he's got enough for the first down. Boy, Colton Doyle, every time out, he runs like a running back. He gets yards.
Yeah, he's a playmaker, whether it's tossing the ball or stepping up. I want to apologize, called it a 3rd and long, misread the board. But again, another of those 2 hard yards. Colton Doyle able to do it all so far.
Cougars taking a little bit more time here to open up. was maybe the one thing they didn't have in the first half was the ball possession numbers, as they'll throw here on first down, a screen pass, and just a great job from TQ Gilmore to dive and catch it so it wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, and I think the Tigers did a good job of kind of disrupting the timing of that play. Were able to get upfield. Felt like that ball came out of Colton Doyle's hands a little quicker than he wanted to. Like you said, on the other end, TQ Gilmore. Sometimes you make a play even though you don't make the play, and I think that was one of those circumstances.
We'll go 2nd and 10 here. Ball spotted at the 36-yard line of the Cougars. Low snap. Zool puts his foot in the ground, gets around one man, up across midfield, still on his feet, and falls down about the 35-yard line. A huge run for Cyrus Zool, and the Cougars move the chains.
There's that big chunk we were talking about. You're going to see the blocking up front here to allow Zool to get in front of his lineman and up to that second level. And from there, like you said, the foot in the ground and the pivot. Bad snap, able to pick it up and recover. And showed a little bit of speed on that.
So the Cougars 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. And nowhere for Colton Doyle to go. That play was broken up from the start by Riverside, as he looked like he wanted to shovel pass through the middle here. Let's take another look.
Yeah, had a couple options there. It was exactly right, a shovel pass to Calvin Littles. Tigers sniffed that one out.
So loss of 2, 2nd down and 12 here for the Cougars. I thought he still had it. He got hit after the play, but yeah, did actually get the shovel pass off. 5 wide for the Cougars here on 2nd down and 12. Offside with contact on Riverside. And so that helps COC out. Good snap count by Cole Doyle that time.
96 with contact, offside, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
So it'll make it 2nd down and 7 here.
And we're back in that point of the field where the whole playbook is open. Strike certainly an option here. Take a shot.
5 wide again here for COC. Sorry to cut you off there, Jesse.
No, I was just going to say, looking to the sideline, oftentimes that can signal a change in the play call.
As Doyle, 3-step drop, throwing downfield, slings it towards Gilmore, and it's broken up. Had a chance, maybe just a half a step ahead of him.
Well, it certainly looked good to me coming out of his hand. Again, another good ball. TQ Gilmore certainly had a step. Hit him in the hands. Feel like if you ask him, he's going to say he could make that. But again, hooking up with his favorite target or trying to.
Bring up 3rd and 7. Keith and Gooden on the breakup. It's Gooden, a guy who's been limited in his time for Riverside. Just 1 tackle coming into the game, but good, makes a good play there to make sure the Cougars stay out of the end zone. And we go here on 3rd and 7. Still 5 wide for COC. Doyle quickly throws it out, and it's just a straight drop. That's all it is. As it was trying to get it to Zion Slade, we take another look here.
Yeah, again, just the execution's not there. Looked like he had some space in front of him. We'll see the replay. Yeah, just never had a chance to get upfield. Don't know how that would have turned out.
And I think the Cougars right now in territory where they're going to think about going for this with the ball on the 32-yard line.
Like I said, you have the playbook at your disposal. 4th and 7. Of course, you want to stay on the field here. I don't think you're walking up just for the snap, although you might make it a little more manageable. Excuse me, for the hard count.
Mm-hmm. As they need to go fast here, just 6 on the play clock. They may not have time for the hard count.
Yeah, I don't think you want a timeout here, but Ted Dyson is going to have to. That's a bit unfortunate, but hey. Rather do that than have a miscue that comes back to haunt you here.
So we'll go on 4th and 7 as we come out. And yeah, I mean, as you said, Coach, not ever happy to take a timeout. No. I don't think we've ever seen Ted happy to take a timeout.
No, and especially that this early coming out of the halftime locker room, you feel like you guys should be in sync and on the same page. But again, rather take it now than risk the miscue. Something goes wrong. You guys aren't on the same page. You turn it over here, and Riverside's off and running. So you take it. line back up, and we'll see what the play call is.
So we'll go here on 4th and 7. Doyle with Zool in the backfield with him. Will take the snap, throws quickly, pass caught by Gilmore, and that should be enough for the first down to get to the sticks. A perfect play call by the Cougars.
Yeah, and went right back to his favorite target, number 17. Again, great job of just knowing where the sticks were, being able to move the chains. I feel like a really strong rapport from those two all season long and kind of rekindled here, especially tonight.
As the Cougars going here on first down, Doyle will run. Didn't have much room. I think he just fell down back at the line of scrimmage.
I was going to say, took a step, and then immediately it just kind of caved in on him, and he thought better of it, just went down for the quick run and reset, as it were.
He didn't go anywhere. He just went, I'm just going to fall to the floor here. There's nowhere for me to go. It'll be second down. They say he got back to the line of scrimmage. 4 wide this time with Cyrus Zool in the backfield with him. Calvin Little's the slotted man on the far side of the field. Doyle will throw, dumps it off, pass caught, and he gets Trayvon Elliott on the reception. Thought it was Tim Wiggins, but it turns out it was Trayvon Elliott. Brings up third down here.
Well, you just flipped the 6 upside down. That's big number 9, Trayvon Elliott. Again, another one of those guys getting his touches in tonight. Yet to find the end zone, but that could be forthcoming here, Matt.
Leave him about 4 yards from the 15-yard line is the spot. They need to get to about the 10, maybe the 11. Hard for us to tell from up here. As they'll throw here, just throwing towards the end zone, looking for Wiggins, and that's going to draw a flag as Wiggins was wrapped up. Defender was there and just never turned around to look at the football.
Let's see the replay here. There's Wiggins trying to get to the outside, and like you said, just kind of hooked him around the arm, impeded the route, and then hands up for the plea of innocence. But
as it was Keithan Gooden again, Cougars trying to target him here.
So again, now you got to really take advantage of this penalty.
So they call holding here. Doesn't matter, it's a first down.
And either way, the receiver was impeded. So again, you take advantage of this penalty. You got to pop it in here. You need these points.
Ball spotted at the 7-yard line, so it'll be first and goal from the 7 for the Cougars here. And they'll put Zool on Colton Doyle's right-hand side. Elliott and Gilmore on the near side, with Gilmore as the wide man. They'll hand off to Cyrus Zool, and he's met in the backfield. Nowhere for him to go. Loss of 3 yards, as Owale was the first one there to make the play.
Yeah, I just tried a little bit of misdirection. I didn't see what the key was on that. I think Zool just went opposite, and it didn't work out. Maybe something Riverside had anticipated pre-snap.
So second and goal from the 10-yard line here.
Coach Banks sending something in here.
And it's been a good long drive for COC. Already 6 minutes off the clock here in the second half. And that's what you need. We talked about it as one of the keys to the game, those sustained drives, Jesse. As they go here on second and goal from the 10, Doyle has to roll to his right. Always looking downfield, will throw it. Pass caught by Andre Hunt, and he steps out of bounds at the 2-yard line, but a good little chunk to bring up third and goal from the 2 here.
Yeah, plenty of time up front, and then Colton Doyle just has to kind of roll out, finds his man, and like you said, just kind of pushed out of bounds. Not much room up the sideline.
And it's actually 3rd and 1 from the 1 is where they spot it.
And again, here's that package we talked about.
They bring that. I was going to say, I'm waiting for it. That jumbo package with Dixon and Bullock both coming out. Riverside gets a chance to sub here. Cougars got to hurry. Just 4 on the play clock.
Got to get it off.
And Ted Iasenda going to use his second timeout.
So again, you see maybe the little bit of disappointment, but you're that close. It's essential that you get in and not squander this opportunity. So, you take the timeout, you reset.
And I think that timeout is a coaching staff timeout.
Yeah.
They didn't have the right bodies on the field for what they wanted to run with the package they wanted to run that time, and you're forced to take it. You took too long to get the guys out you wanted.
Yeah, and you never want to go into a play like that ill-fated from the start. Yep. Better to slow it down, pump the brakes, catch your breath. Again, make sure everyone is on the same page. Cougars seemingly in control here. Another touchdown would certainly aid that effort, but you don't want to take anything for granted, especially, again, I keep saying, a talented team like this, which can strike, which can make plays on both sides of the ball. Long way to go in this one.
Yeah, all sorts of extra big bodies out there for COC. Danny Valenzuela out there as well. Cole Bullock. Moises Haynes going to be led by Bullock.
Well, that's a
I don't think he got to the end zone.
A lot of
They're going to
bodies down there.
spot him a half a yard short here.
And there was nobody in the backfield for that extra push, as we've seen a couple times this year, and as we fondly reminisce the USC Bush push
the Bush
days.
push in Notre Dame with the long grass that was like 9 feet tall.
Oh, I remember it well.
Trying to slow down that high-powered USC offense. But we're talking about a high-powered Cougars offense, so we'll go back here. It'll be 4th and goal from the half-yard line. I mean, that ball is – the nose is almost touching the goal line. So we'll see what they do. They stay with that same set. Bullock there. And they hand off to Moises Haynes, and he fights for the end zone. In for a Cougar touchdown, his second of the night.
It's a game of inches, Matt, and sometimes it just comes down to who wants it more. Big Moises Haynes, second score of the night, plunges into the end zone with authority. You're going to see the replay right here.
The Jersey Mike's replay.
Jersey Mike's sub-above replay.
Double meat on this one for Moises Haynes, his second touchdown of the night.
Absolutely. Let's make that Mike's way. Love it.
The extra point up and good. We talked about that yesterday. I had to get it in.
I was going to say, that was a little premeditated, but we're having fun up here regardless.
24-point lead for the Cougars, Jesse. Moises Haynes with his second touchdown of the night, his third of the season, turning into that guy that Cyrus Zool was last year, that closing back. Moises Haynes, the big back set. It works. Give the blockers credit out in front of him. Cole Bullock able to pull and drive him through as well. Yeah,
and what that does more importantly, you're happy for Moises, you're happy for the offense to be able to execute. But for College of the Canyons, able to tighten the grip, the control that they have on this game so far tonight. Again, everything firing, everything going College of the Canyons' way. Point to the clock, a lot of time on the board, a lot of time to go in this game. We'll see how it all shakes out, but so far I don't think you could ask for anything more if you're the Cougars.
And that was as good of a drive as I've seen COC have pretty much all year long in terms of their ability to sustain it. You talk about sustaining drives before the game today as Riverside will return this one from the 10-yard line as they get a good little return out of Lawrence Starks, and he gets it all the way out to the 35-yard line. But we were talking about that sustained drive for the Cougars. Started with the ball. You took 7 minutes and 33 seconds as I do quick math, which is never my strong suit, off the clock. I mean, that's your longest really drive of the season for the Cougars.
And it does so much for your team, your offense, your team's psyche, your confidence. I mean, to be able to sustain, to be able to do what you want to do, to be able to execute, find that positive result, and continue to build on that like building blocks as we pause here for the play. But like I said, so many benefits to being able to have those sustained drives. And, Matt, on the flip side, to be able to turn around and score quickly, kind of pick your poison with the Cougars.
Yep.
And they've shown both here tonight.
Riverside comes out with the same quarterback that finished out the first half, Jordan Barton. He was really the spark that they needed to try and get back in. Nearly led a touchdown scoring drive, if not for a couple of good defensive plays. Will throw here on first down. Eventually checks down, jumps it off, and that ball loose. And they say it's an incomplete pass, and I think that's the right call. I don't think Dean Connor ever had it. He juggled it a couple of times and was hit, and I think it was Brian Snoke. Might have been
well, let's see. I mean,
I can't
that
tell
ball's
who it is.
on
Yeah,
the ground. Taylor Lewis.
It was Brian Snoke that
tried
made the
to
hit.
Pounce on it. Snoke always around the ball. And again, I saw some pressure from Big 45, Ika Hihifo. That dude's been doing this thing since the beginning of the year.
As they run this time with Connors, and he does not get it. It's actually I thought they moved the chains. That was actually a third down play right there, and now they move the chains. Okay.
I'd have to.
I thought they moved the chains before that play.
Yeah, and I'd have to maybe request a look at that, maybe a measurement or a spot. Don't want to call out the official, but certainly a close call. Love Snokin on the play again. That dude just flies around everywhere.
So Riverside here on a 1st and 10. Barton wants to throw over the middle. That pass dropped.
Well, again, we just touched on big 51 there in coverage, lining up the shoulder. You want to think maybe he heard that or anticipated it. You see him coming across the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe a little late.
Ashley.
But he missed that one.
I think he knew somebody was coming across the middle and shortened that step.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite get to the football. So to bring up 2nd and 10 here, Barton the quarterback. Connors in the backfield next to him. Ashley is the lone receiver on the near side for Riverside. They'll send Connor in motion. Barton will throw. Looking over the middle. That pass intercepted by the Cougars. A deflection picked off by Cole Bullock. And the Cougars, with their 3rd interception of the ball game, have taken it away once again and have the ball on their own 45-yard line.
Oh, man, what another big-time play by this secondary. Going to be Josh Madison getting on it first.
Old
tip
school
ball
tip drill.
And then the Cougars are off and running. Is there an appearance of the turnover chain on the sideline? I think so. And they are happy and enthusiastic about that. Big play for the Cougars. This secondary really stepping up. That must have been a point of emphasis here in practice. You know, the linebacking core and the defensive line getting a lot of the love so far here in the early going. But it's been the Cougar DBs that have really stepped up and helped take control of this game.
And if you're COC right here, you put one in the end zone. They're short of linemen, so they're trying to get the right guy onto the field. You put one in the end zone right here if you're the Cougars, and I think you slam the door on Riverside despite there being a lot of time left.
Yeah, absolutely. I look for foot on the gas here.
Whistle before.
A little bit of pushing and shoving and jawing.
I think Taekwon Gilmore are going to get called for a false start, to be quite honest. He had his hands on his head.
Well, and like I said, in the trenches, as you see the pushing and shoving and jawing.
On the center, 5 yards.
Oh, snap infraction. Okay.
And you know, this is the point in the game for maybe Riverside showing a little bit of frustration. College of the Canyons feeling good about themselves. And down in those trenches, a lot of things get said, a lot of bodies clash. You know, that's inevitable.
Well, it's a physical game.
The important thing, you want to maintain your composure if you're College of the Canyons. Don't let those mistakes, those penalties, those encounters come back to haunt you.
Cougars had Doyle under center. Little
reverse
play, little trickery. Doyle out in front of Gilmore on the block. Gilmore with room to run, has a couple of blockers out in front of him, and is knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line of Riverside. A great play call by the Cougars and a 1st down.
Great play call, great athleticism, and at the end of the night here, or excuse me, end of the run, you're going to see a great crackback block by number 81.
Even the block by Cole
Hunter
Doyle
Smith.
right here.
Look at that, Cole Doyle getting involved. TQ with the hurdle, and then it's off to the races. He's got some guys in front of him. There's the 81. That
Hunter
was
Smith.
close. That was a nice job, but again, very close. Potential blocking, the blocker clipping. Again, well executed, well schemed. And the Cougars look like they're having fun out there now.
As they go on 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line, they hand it off to Moises Haynes. He tries to power through the pile. Going to be stopped up, gets about 3 yards, and will bring up 2nd down at about 7. That's a play call we haven't seen all year, that double reverse trickery play from the Cougars. I knew something odd was coming up with Cole Doyle under center. I just didn't know what it was going to be.
Yeah, like you said, I don't think that's one we've shown on tape yet. Riverside certainly did not look ready for it. But again, a credit to the big guys up front and everybody, Colton Doyle included, blocking, scheming that out.
As they'll keep it with Doyle this time, runs into his own man, fumbles
Ball's
the
out.
football, and Riverside able to get it back right near the 40-yard line. So the Cougars get a turnover, and Riverside follows suit. 2nd time today the Cougars have fumbled the football.
Well, we talked about it, limit the miscues, the turnovers. College of the Canyons had done well coming into tonight, had only lost 3 fumbles on the year. And if you're the Riverside Cougars, that's exactly what you wanted and needed to get back into this ball game. A lot of time left, the door not slamming shut quite yet. And now look to this Cougar defense to see how they respond, as they have all night and all year, to lift up the other, other side of your squad.
And that's been the hallmark of the Cougars team so far this year, that ability to pick up their mates on the other side when one side's having some trouble. Not that either side has really been struggling today, but play a 10-yard gain for a first down, as the pass was caught by Wyatt McClure. As Barton in there again, trying to start a Riverside drive. They need a touchdown here, Jesse, to try and close the gap back a little bit. Barton nearly drops the snap, has pressure, trying to escape, looking downfield, throws for a man, but that was never going to be complete inside the field of play, as no chance for Juwan Tucker.
Love the pressure there by number 91, DeJour Dixon. Able to get upfield, shed his blocker, and go up the other way. Got to feel like that rushed the throw, the timing a little bit. And again, sustain that pressure and positive things will happen. We've seen it already on the interception, the tip ball. Riverside doing a good job to stave off the sacks. But again, still having the desired impact with that pressure.
As we'll go here on second down. Riverside to throw. Barton to the sideline. Pass is caught by Houston leaping. And I think he might be about 1.5 yards, 2 yards short. And it'll bring up a third down.
Yeah, he definitely got close. A little bit of a bobble there, but able to secure the ball and pull it in. This is a must-score drive for the Riverside Tigers. You said it already, Matt.
And it's a penalty on Riverside, so it doesn't matter. Takes it all away. Didn't see the flag in the backfield.
Doesn't change the scenario, just makes it a little longer and a little harder to get there. But a must-score drive for the Tigers here, with 4 minutes exactly to go here in the third quarter.
So it'll bring up second down and 25 now for Riverside. Pushes the ball back to the 33-yard line.
And this is where College of the Canyons might be able to dial something up, really tee off here.
We haven't really seen that pressure from COC today. Riverside goes short, maybe knowing the pressure is going to be there. Wow. Connor trying to go up and hurdle Dre Falls, and Dre Falls, much like a big man in the middle of a basketball floor said, I don't think so.
Well, if he was a little taller, I think you see the Matumbo finger there, but he absolutely went up and met him in the air. A little bit of a collision, and then he had his friend, who's that number 29 out there, Cole Bullock, to help him clean it up.
This Riverside on third down went quick, and were able to get themselves to the chains, but 2 yards short of it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Dre Falls, another guy out there making some plays. Now, he had the big pick 6 in week 1 against ABC. Yep. Made a mark on that game. Has been a key member of this defense ever since then. But again, happy to be calling his name out tonight, and I hope he's got some people out there in Honolulu watching him.
So Riverside to kick here. I don't know if it's Chavez back there standing ready to kick. And it looks like it is. It's a good kick. Cougars are going to let it bounce. Everybody gets out of the way. And Riverside will stop the clock at the 23-yard line of the Cougars. That's where COC will take over with 2:53 to go here in the third quarter. Cougars still with a 24-point lead. And now a chance once again to march down and slam the door with more time having wasted off the clock. So it wasn't a sustained drive. You turn the ball over, but you don't give up much of anything, and you get the ball back, and now a chance to work 77 yards, 76 yards down the field.
And unfortunate for Riverside, but I think that's really the worst result you could have had other than a defensive score from the Cougars. I mean, you get set back with the penalties and end up having to punt, give this ball right over. That does not bode well for their chances here tonight.
New quarterback in there for the Cougars is Tuni Aikahihifu, the offensive player of the week out there, as they give it to Cyrus Zool, and he picks up a couple of yards. Maybe gets to the 29-yard line, so we'll call it second down and about 7. And Aikahihifu, a guy, Jesse, we talked about him in the pregame show. Good to see him get back in there today. 25 of 46 on the year, 452 yards, 6 touchdowns. And boy, was he good last week.
Yeah, especially impressive considering that's his first start against a state-ranked team. Came in here and really, you know, other than a couple series to start the game, was quick to find his rhythm.
As he throws over the middle, pass caught by Elliott, up to midfield, dragging a defender across the 45 and all the way down to the 42-yard line of Riverside. And there's Tooney slotting right back in, looking very comfortable.
I was about to say, picked up right where he left off, finds his man Trey Elliott. You're going to see, look at him, calm,
even that,
collected.
just, yeah.
Yeah, looking around, ready for it. And then there's a nice ball right over the middle. Elliott, again, keeps his feet moving, gets those extra yards. And Tooney, like you said, 6 total touchdowns last week. I think I was most impressed his step out of the backfield, a la Colton Doyle. Hadn't expected that out of him, but boy, was I surprised.
And so keep it here, and he's able to gain 2, maybe 3 yards. We'll see where they give him the spot.
You know, and Matt, that was the first time I had an opportunity to see that young man under center. But, you know, after the award, after some of the publicity that he received after that,
yep.
A lot of teammates, a lot of coaches, a lot of people around his career said, hey, that's nothing new for Tooney. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that won a state championship
exactly.
with CIF championship, with Paraclete under Dean Harrington at the time. I mean, he's won and played everywhere he's gone. New role for him in a backup position. As that pass going to result in a penalty flag on Carlton Johnson as he got contact on Zion Slade maybe just a half step too early. Oh, they wave off the flag.
What we started to say, Matt, you know, maybe a pleasant surprise for us, but something that obviously the Cougar coaching staff knew was in store and knew that that was someone that they could turn to. You know, the philosophy has always been next man up, and that's exactly what happened last week. So.
And I like getting him in here with a spot. You're up 24, you get him some more run, because you never know when you're going to need him late in the year. Cole Doyle certainly looks the part, looks like the guy. But we know historically COC has always liked 2 quarterback systems. I wouldn't be shocked to see it start to pop its head up later as Ika Heifu on the run. Good throw downfield, pass caught, first down. Zion Slade on the catch.
Again, distributing the ball well, finding a couple of guys here already, a couple of different guys. You know, Matt, and I think the other benefit is you get him some additional snaps against a top-ranked opponent. No disrespect to Palomar, number 21 in the state last year, and fought every minute of that battle against the Cougars here last night. But again, anytime you get a chance to line up against a coaching staff and a defensive front, a program like Riverside, it can only help you in terms of your experience.
Slade in motion here as Zool in the backfield with Ika Heifu. They pitch to Zool, looking for room, not going to have it, maybe got a yard. I think he did a good job to get a yard.
Yeah, showing a little bit of shiftiness up there. Got a couple, like you said, a yard or 2.
I think Zion Slade was trying to block and got knocked on his backside, and that kind of broke the play up.
Well, and like you said, that shiftiness might have been Cyrus just kind of waiting, timing out his block, and then it wasn't there. So.
Cougars are going to let the third quarter run out. They'll take a 34-10 lead into the fourth quarter with the football. And a 2nd down and 10 when we come back here on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back in. We go to the fourth quarter here, just waiting for the game clock to get set up. As Riverside with all sorts of late subs coming in here. The officials haven't started anything yet, so And Riverside going to take a timeout. I was going to say, all sorts of guys running on and off the field. That could have been dangerous. They were trying to play with 15 guys.
Again, a sense of urgency. If you're Riverside, you really need to make this stop here. And, probably a lot of excited guys out there trying to, this is crunch time. This is now or never. I'm sure a lot of emotions on that sideline. Maybe some frantic personnel calls. And that's sometimes what it boils down to and what the turnout is. So, again, we'll get underway here. Fourth quarter. This has been a good one, just as we expected. And we'll see if we can't continue that trend here next 15 minutes.
Very important game going into the break next week for College of the Canyons. Riverside, I think, is going to play next week since they missed their first game of the year against Mount Sac. So they don't necessarily get that break in the middle of the year like everybody else does. Is Ika Hifu to throw here. Ooh, geez, too much on it. Was looking for Taekwon Gilmore. It went by Gilmore into the bench, and Gilmore looked around and said, what was that?
Well, and then I saw him point upfield like, hey, your key was that guy. I don't think he was ready for it. Tooney pumps. And just kind of darts it at TQ Gilmore, and you'll see him with the point. Like, I thought you were going there.
It looked like to me on that sideline shot, he was looking downfield. I mean, you don't see balls get by TQ Gilmore very often. No. That was one of them. As we go here on 3rd and they say 8. Big third down here for Ika Hihifu. He'll throw to the sideline, was looking for Hunt, and the route just never developed long enough, and it'll bring up 4th down. And I would imagine Coach Ayasenda goes for it here as the ball on the 27-yard line, as they've pretty much shown all year long this is the spot they go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, you're well in control here. You want to continue to deliver on your game plan. 8 yards certainly obtainable here. No matter what the play call will be.
Heck of a throw from Andre Hunt to get that ball off the field from the other side. Sorry, I had to bring that up.
Athletes all around at College of the Canyons. He's just another in a long line.
Low snap. Ika Hifu rolling to his left, looking downfield, and he throws an interception. Right into the hands of the Riverside Tigers defender. It was picked off by Devontae Davis-Smith. And it's basically a punt anyway.
Yeah, like I said, Matt, I mean, I started to say you can live with that result on 4th down. Obviously not what you would want. Again, Cougars, we mentioned it, only 1 interception so far, so that's number 2.
And I think the 1 interception from Bryony Spears was a tip ball interception. So that one a clean interception, but still in essence, you're in kind of no man's land, and it's kind of a punt, and you give Riverside a little bit better field position, and they now have the ball with 14:42 to go here in the ball game. Trailing by 24, they need something quickly. That ball tipped up in the air. That was almost another turnover for the Cougars, as they had a couple of blue jerseys roaming around, just nobody could get their hands on it.
Yeah, I got to think Cougars are going to want to get another one here, pile it on, maybe flip the script a little bit. Again, secondary has been playing lights out tonight. A lot of pressure up front. I mean, really everywhere. I mean, you talk about the linebacking core, Jonathan Thomas, Snoke. I mean, guys making plays all over, and that's the name of the game.
And this might be the first, at least from what we've seen, the first really concise effort from the entire Cougars defense. As they'll run this time right up the middle, and not much room to go for Bennett. Maybe picks up half the chains. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Well, I think a nod to the defensive coaches, led by defensive coordinator Dan Corbett. I know coming into this game, it was all business on Monday. It was come in and let's get focused. Yeah, we won last week, but there's things we want to clean up, and we know that the type of opponent that Riverside is going to be. I think the result you're seeing is the result of that good week of practice.
Barton to throw, and he got hit, and that one intercepted once again, I think. Oh, no, they say it was on the ground. Oh, boy, I thought Joshua Christopher came up with it.
Very close. Let's see. Again, takes the hit from JT.
Yeah, no, it hit the ground.
It was, again, you try and plead your case. And a nice play to even be at the
Got to
ball
come back
like
and pay
that.
attention here, though, on a 4th down and 5, and another pass breakup by the Cougars. Allen Smith, and a late flag coming in from the line judge on the near side. Maybe he said Smith got in just a half step too early.
Well, Alan Smith looking for the explanation, as so is head coach Ted Iacinda. Again, so, you know, the penalty you can live with at this point of the game, but what it does, it gives another glimmer of hope to the Riverside Tigers, who maintain possession.
Looked pretty close. The timing looked good on the replay from Allen Smith, and it's a tough call for the line judge on the near side. All he's seeing is backsides of everybody, and unfortunately has to come back and get an earful from the COC bench right after the play. So it's 1st and 10 from the Cougar 47. Riverside a fresh set of downs, and they'll go back to work. Barton to throw, looking downfield, but it's well ahead of the intended target, trying to get Jamal Houston, and it landed about 6 steps in front of him.
I do like the play call there. The connection just didn't come together. But, you know, you come out of the penalty and you go ahead and try and get a big chunk or a scoring shot. And again, and if you're Riverside, it's exactly what you have to do. You're all in every play here, trying to score as quickly as you can.
What was that pass interference play you see down in the big box as we go here on 2nd down and 10 for Riverside. Barton to throw. This one caught Walter Brooks, and enough for a 1st down. So another 1st down for Riverside. Clock continuing to tick. Riverside to throw again. Barton trying to travel, throws towards the end zone, but this one goes out of bounds. I'll bring up 2nd down and 10 here. So, I mean, Riverside, as you said, Jesse, glimmer of hope after the penalty and a chance to try and go in and get a score. They trail by 24. It's 34-10 Cougars, and you need to go quickly here if you're Riverside in terms of putting points on the board and in a hurry. Barton to throw, has to step up to avoid pressure. Now looking downfield, throws, and that one thrown out of bounds and was never going to be a catchable ball. Had a couple of receivers in the area, but he landed it back behind the yard markers, about 5 yards out of play.
Yeah, also had some pressure in his face. Julian Salazar was actually able to get to the quarterback.
And that's something the Cougars haven't done a lot of today. They've had some trouble getting, especially to Barton. Once he's gotten into the game, he's done a good job of evading Cougar tackles.
The pressure's been there, but the sacks haven't. And again, Riverside continues to find a way to fight.
He dumps it off here on 3rd down, and another 1st down here. Lauren Starks able to get across the sticks and get a 1st down for Riverside. And again, Cougars with pressure and just cannot seem to find Barton.
Yeah, he's showing some shiftiness back there.
5'9", 185 Barton. As he'll throw here, has lots of time, now looks downfield, good check down, finds Starks, and into the end zone. Riverside on the board with the touchdown here in the 4th quarter, have cut the lead just a little bit.
Well, if you're the Cougar defense, entirely too much time for the quarterback to sit back there and choose his spot, make his, execute that throw. And now Riverside changing the scenario here in this game, cuts the lead in half.
Well, you can get it to 17 here with the point after, which is up and good.
And now a lot of time, and this is what we talked about earlier, Matt. Now Riverside in position to pounce on any and every Cougar potential Cougar miscue here. You certainly don't want to let things get out of hand.
When it comes back to a couple of the fumbles, the interception from Tooney a few minutes ago turns into 6 points for Riverside. Cougars had done a good job after the couple of fumbles to make sure they didn't allow points afterwards, but you put your hand in the tank too many times, you're eventually going to get bit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about limiting those miscues, those mistakes. Cougars had done a good job doing so through the first half, you don't want to let a few mishaps here in the second come back to haunt you. Again, a Riverside team that I imagine has no quit in them, and a coach that will continue to push them here until the last seconds tick off the clock.
That's what Tom Kraft has really been known for in his tenure at Riverside. As we said, 105 wins in 11 seasons with the Tigers. Former coach at San Diego State for a time, so definitely a guy that's been through the wars and knows that, you're down 24, but there's no reason why you can't come back into a football game, especially if you strike quickly. Is this one going to be brought out by the Cougars? Trayvon Elliott bringing it out, and he's taken down at right about the 10-yard line. Good tackle by Riverside, and the Cougars going to have a long field to work here with 12:37 to go.
Matt, if you're College of the Canyons, I'm saying this is the most important drive of this second half and perhaps the game. Just by virtue of the situation, you do not want to give Riverside an inch or any more opportunities.
And the Cougar coaching staff seems to think the same thing. Colton Doyle back out on the field here.
And again, I really look to this big offensive line to start to dictate the pace of this game and how things are going to end up here. It's going to be up to the boys up front.
As here goes Doyle in the backfield, has Moises Haynes with him. Will hand off. Haynes right up the middle, and right on cue, Jesse, the offensive line does their job. A big chunk for Moises Haynes on the carry. Gets about 7. It'll bring up second down at about 3.
Yeah, again, we'll see the replay here. I want to say that was Donovan Reyes with a nice kick block. Open up that hole.
Looks like one of the Tigers down in the field. We'll try and figure out who that is while we...
Moises Haynes with the tough yards, as he has shown a knack for it here tonight.
And Haynes is a guy that we've talked about before, has never really gotten a good run per se, like a long sustained chance to just go and work. And he's a guy in high school that, as you know, Jesse, playing for Valencia, that was what he did. He ran the football for the Valencia Vikings here in Santa Clarita.
You know, what I love most about that, Matt, is he has made the most of his opportunities when they have came. And it hasn't really changed his demeanor and his work ethic in terms of practice and preparation. Always a guy that you can call to, you know he's going to be ready. And again, 2 touchdowns tonight, a couple strong runs last week. I feel like a sophomore really starting to get into his groove, and that's going to do tremendous things for the Cougars as we head into conference play here in 2 weeks.
Just 5 carries for 15 yards, but 2 scores today, both those coming in short order for the Cougars. Cyrus Zoul's been the best runner for COC, 12 attempts, 88 yards, averaging 7.3 per carry, had that long of 29. As you look down the stat sheet for COC, Colton Doyle, 10 of 21, 139 yards, 2 scores. Taekwon Gilmore, 3 receptions, 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. Trayvon Elliott, 4 for 47. Andre Hunt, 2 for 15. Zion Slade, 1 for 14. So number of guys hitting the sheet for COC. We'll take a look on the other side for Riverside while we have a moment, if we can get the stat sheet to switch over. There we go. Joshua Barton, he started the game 9 of 20, 130, a touchdown and an interception. Bud Burney, 11 of 22, 86 yards, 2 interceptions. Got taken out. Jordan Barton, has come in and 9 of 20, 130 yards, a touchdown and interception. Has looked really good and really been the spark. Also has 39 yards on the ground.
Absolutely. We talked about College of the Canyons being able to turn to the next man up to be able to change that quarterback position and get that, same positive result. Riverside showing the ability to do the same. And Matt, just to go back, we talk about the rushing and, being able to get into a group. Let's also remember the rushing prowess of the 2 Cougar quarterbacks that handle a lot of carries and generate a lot of yards. I mean, again, I think it's a case where you've got running backs, you've got quarterbacks, you've got receivers that you can throw the short ball to. Pick your poison. And if you're an offensive coordinator, Coach Banks trying to get all those guys involved.
He's almost got too many weapons.
Too many toys. I tell my kids that all the time. I mean, how much fun can you have?
I try to tell my wife that about our 1-year-old, and she doesn't get it. She keeps buying more and more stuff.
Well, just wait. Just wait. It multiplies when they actually realize what they're playing with.
It's a good problem to have, I suppose.
It is. But, again, back to what we were saying. I mean, a lot of weapons, a lot of pieces to get involved, and sometimes that, that results in the guy maybe not getting the sustained looks that they might have seen in high school. No fault of their own. And again, if the result is there, that's what each and every one of those Cougars is most concerned about.
So we think it's Robert McQueen down on the field for Riverside. We'll confirm that. We hope he's all right, but I'm sorry. It's actually getting a better number here from our producer, Noah Purcell. Thank you, Mike. As the young man out of St. Louis High School in Hawaii is down, and we'll try and see where he got crunched. You can see him right there in the middle of the field. I think he just got bent back when he made the hit on Moises Haynes, and I think he just got shaken up. And he's in good hands. Medical staffs from both Riverside and College of the Canyons out there. I think I saw Dr. Carzell out there as well, kind of checking on him from Southern California Orthopedic, who is our team doctor for Cougar football all season. It has been for, oh boy, a lot of years since I was here back in 04-05. So take a look.
I'd like to see him be able to walk off like that.
That's awesome. Get some pats from the team.
Yeah, we wish him well here.
Let's make sure you check out the College of the Canyon Sports Medicine program if you are looking for something to go into. It's a great program. Sarah Ursum, the head athletic trainer, runs that program. Our athletic director, Chad Peters, was also part of the program, now the AD. It's a great chance to learn. My wife actually went through the program. I went through the program way back in the day before I decided to go into communications, which I think I found what I like better. As we have offsides here on Riverside.
And again, just another shout out. Well, another quick shout out to the Cougar sports medicine staff. Eric Butrago joining us three seasons ago. Does a tremendous job. One thing I will say, that as a team, Cougar sports medicine has your back no matter what the sport is, no matter what point in the season it is. We are happy to have them on our side.
Always. As we go first down and 10, so the Cougars get a free first down after the offside play. And then they give it right back to Riverside, and we'll back up. As we'll go back to work. So it'll be 1st and 15 here for the Cougars. And the clock continues to roll, so the clock in your favor, leading by 17. Moises Haynes in the backfield for COC. 3 receivers out to the near side. They'll hand off to Moises Haynes. Good patient run, just waits. Gets back across the original line of scrimmage and all the way up to the 29-yard line.
You're going to check the replay here again. Nice block up front. I believe that's going to be big 75 again, but look at the wash on 52. Jonathan Ariano opening up those big holes. And again, I said it before, look to this offensive line to really take control of this game. That is what they love to do.
And I think if you're COC, you're really in your 5-minute offense if you can be. Well, if you have a 5-minute offense, we know how much they like to quick strike. As they go with those same 3 receivers to the near side, Haynes in the backfield. He'll get the carry again, churns his feet, gets across the 30 out to the 31-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 7?
But, Matt, again, I think that's the tactical advantage of your College of the Canyons at this point of the game. Yes, you're thinking the slow down, grind it out offense. They may line up for that and take a shot over the top. We've seen it before.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot.
They're well in control of the game, and, hey, if they see something, you're going to give it to them. They're going to take it. And, again, we'll see how it shakes out. Don't want to give them credit before the work is done. But do not be surprised if the philosophy is not what you expect at this juncture of the game.
So they go 4 wide this time here on 3rd down, needing 7. Doyle just floats it over the middle, pass caught. Good play call as he has a man. It's Calvin Little still on his feet. Inside the 10, gets to the pylon, and it's a Cougar touchdown.
And there it was, almost right on cue. The big strike over the top. Colton Doyle finds his man.
This is a beautiful ball,
Oh,
Jesse, on the Jersey Mike's replay.
The ball comes out of his hand so well, and when you have space like that, look at that. Perfect timing connection. Calvin Littles.
This downfield as well, right here. TQ Gilmore coming in to make a block. Just got in guys' way.
Getting down there to celebrate with him, saying, hey, I love you, bro, Montana. Let's keep it going. There's another one for the Cougars.
And it's a big strike once again. We talked about being in the 5-minute offense. Well, no 5-minute offense. We'll just go down the field, put up 6.
I mean, almost on cue. We kind of hinted at it, Matt. You're rubbing off on me. We talked about psychic friends last week, and I feel like I got a little piece of it this round. But again, that's the luxury you have. College of the Canyons, able to run the ball, able to go over the top, able to do the short passes, the screen game. It's all there in their book. And it's really got to keep you on your heels and make you frustrated as a defensive coordinator to not know when and where, what point of the game that's going to come. Calvin Littles, nice job.
I mean, you got to credit the play call from David Banks as well, and the vision from Cold Oils to know that I'm going to have pressure on this play, but I'm going to have that pass up the middle if I float it up there good enough.
He's a gamer. We've been saying it since week 1 against Antelope Valley. His ability to come in and make plays and not mistakes. Big plays on the ground, big plays through the air, finds all of his guys, seems to have a truly in-depth understanding of this offense and seems to know where to go at all times. Again, College of the Canyons in control here and need to close this one out.
This is 11th pass completion of the ball game. Is this ball going to bounce short, be picked up at the 10-yard line by Riverside, and not much room to work for Lawrence Starks as he gets maybe out to the 10-yard line, and that's it.
And there's that man again, Brian Snoke, making plays all over the field. One of our international student athletes here.
Yeah, and I think you aptly nicknamed him the Supreme Leader last week.
Supreme Leader Snoke. I mean, that's a little nod to my Star Wars nerdom, but I think it fits well here. His ability to get to the quarterback, to make plays, to blow up things in the run game, quickly becoming a leader for this Cougar defense.
Good play design by Riverside here on first down as they swing it out to Starks. And they get a good chunk of yardage, maybe 6. And they'll bring up second down at about 4, maybe 5. We'll see where the spot is.
And now, Matt, there's Vradenberg getting involved. And again, these Cougars, you send them out there playing with an advantage like this, the ability to just go line up, tee off, make a play, playing with a lot of enthusiasm out there.
Barton to throw here again, and you're going to see that a lot from Riverside, I think, at this point, trailing by 24 as that pass caught by Ty Moore. I mean, they're going to have to throw the ball, and this has not been Riverside's strong suit all year long, but it seems like they've found something in Jordan Barton as he seems to be finding spots.
Again, he's showing some flashes, and he's playing well, but I think a worst-case scenario for Riverside, you are completely away from your bread-and-butter offense and what has worked for you, what you've been known for historically. So, again, backs up against the wall. We'll see what happens.
So there's Barton calling out blocks. Now will run and gets pushed out of bounds. As over to push him out was Reggie Jones. Got maybe a yard or 2. We'll call it second down and 8.
You know, and very similar to Palomar last week, and I think, you know, that's kind of the spirit of these teams in the SCFA. And there's no quit in them, you know. Down but not out. They keep coming at you. It's just uphill sledding at this point.
Spartan to throw here on second down. Checks down, has a man. Pass is caught. Wrapped up was Houston as Jason Haywood was the first to make contact and keep him from getting to the first down marker.
Jason Haywood getting an opportunity out there. Like you said, just held him up long enough. Waited for his friend Jonathan Thomas and company to meet him there.
It's third down and 3 here for Riverside. They need to get to the 43-yard line, and they will. Good run right through the middle by Lawrence Starks once again. Has enough for a first down. Horton able to make the stop, but not after the first down yardage was picked up. But Riverside methodically trying to move downfield. This is in the advantage of the Cougars. Even if you let them march down, take off 5 minutes off the clock, you've got a 24-point lead right now.
Yeah, all things in the Cougars' advantage here. And again, you just want to play this one out.
Spartan to throw. That pass caught. And taken down was Jalen Sargent. And is about a yard short of a first down. It'll bring up second down at about 1. Barton to throw, that one to the outside. Pass caught, Moore slips a man, tries to cut back to the middle of the field, taken down at about the 15-yard line. But another Riverside first down and just a missed tackle on the outside by the Cougars here, Jesse.
Yeah, again, Riverside, no quit in them, keep continuing to fight, find their way up the field. College of Canyons, again, I think this is the point where you need a big stop, a tackle for loss.
As Barton will throw over the middle of the field, pass into the end zone, caught for a touchdown, and it's Ty Moore in the back of the end zone, and this is a strike from Jordan Barton.
Yeah, again, a nice job on this drive all the way, getting down here into the red zone, and then just finds his guy a step ahead of Camacho coming over, or excuse me, number 24. Yeah, it was Camacho, I was right. Doubted myself for a second. And again, changing
Point after is up and good.
Changing the scenario of this game. Still an ample 6:42 on the clock. I don't know if you see the onside kick quite yet. I think you have to.
I feel like you have to. Just from a standpoint of you still trail by 3 scores at this point in time. 2 does not get you anywhere. You need 3. And if you give COC the ball and they do pull the 5-minute offense, then you're sunk.
Or do you kick off and say, everyone go down there and club punch Remp, do whatever you have to, try and force the Cougars into a mistake. I don't know. Different philosophy, we'll see. But like I said, Matt, I tend to agree with you. Could be seeing
as you're watching the Cougar Sports Network here, scvtv.com, SoCalCollegeSports.com. You can catch all select Cougars home games on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll have some soccer for you next week on Tuesday, week off from football, and then we'll be back here against Allen Hancock in 2 weeks' time on Saturday. And that one should be a 4 o'clock start. It'll be an early one against the Bulldogs, but as you said, Jesse, yeah, still very interesting here. We'll see what Riverside does. They decide to kick it deep, and it'll bounce into the end zone. Cougars didn't have anybody back there, and I think they get lucky. It does get into the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like they had their hands team out there. And again, so Riverside opts to kick off and play defense. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe you force one of those Cougar miscues, get a pick 6 of your own. I think ball security and mistake-free football becomes even more essential here. We've been talking about it from the get-go, but cannot afford to let this Tiger team turn the tables on you here.
Yep. And it's kind of the same we saw in the 2019 SCFA Championship Game. Riverside got out to a big lead. Cougars kind of battled back. Riverside was able to close the door late. COC going to be asked to do the same thing. They're going to send out Tuniaika Hifu here with a 17-point lead. He's going to hand the ball off here on first down, and Moises Haynes able to pick up 5 yards.
Back to old Mr. Reliable, Moises Haynes.
There's there's flags all over the field, way out here by the 50-yard line. It's so I'm not sure what the penalty was. I think the Cougars just waved it off, said we don't want it. Okay, so it was illegal formation, so the play didn't even count. So it'll say first down, and now we'll wind the clock once again. That's the second call that's kind of confused everybody up here today. There was a snap violation on the Cougars that we were all questioning.
Oh, we'll line up and play. 6:08 to go.
As Haynes in the backfield here once again. I would expect him on the dive play, and he does get it. Bounces off of a block and knocks a guy down as he gets a first down. That was just pure muscle there, Jesse.
Well, we talked about it last week. Moises Haynes' ability to deliver the pop, as it were. And here's another example of that. Gets his hands up and just takes the defender down.
He took liberties against Peter Lewis right there.
Moises Haynes, we've been saying it all year, tough kid out there. And this offensive line, again, getting going, playing well as a unit. Things have been schemed well and executed even better.
And you can tell the Cougars in that 5-minute offense. 7 guys on the offensive line right now just trying to open up holes here and let Moises Haynes go to work. He'll have blockers out in front, dives through the pile, and picks up 6 yards. He just continues to do it, just moves his feet and churns right through.
And again, look at these offensive linemen just pulling right, pulling left, up in the hole, leading the way. I know offensive line coach Mark Dumlau prides himself in how this unit plays late, and so far shining brightly on this last drive. And this is what it's all about, the war in the trenches. Close the door, sustain the drive.
As it'll be 2nd down and 3 here. Cougars need to get to the 48-yard line on their own side of the 50 for a first down. And you got to figure they'll just go back to Moises Haynes once again. As they do, Riverside in the backfield. Haynes breaks a tackle, cuts it outside, across midfield, inside the 40, and he's knocked down. He'll get down to the 38-yard line, but a great run from Moises Haynes.
Oh, again, he's in his rhythm. Cyrus Zoul gotten his earlier. Now Moises Haynes, maybe the closer role here. Pops right back up, and I bet you he's ready to do it again. A nice job. And again, I mentioned Coach Mark Dumlau a minute ago. He's right at the 50-yard line watching his unit and has had to be excited with that result.
As TJ Patu for Riverside had Haynes in the backfield, and he just ripped right through the arm tackle and bounced it outside. It's first down on the Riverside side of the 50-yard line. Ball spotted at the 38. Ika Hihifu again to Haynes. Cuts it back outside. Had a block. Still on his feet. Across the first down marker. Gets to the 25. Took a hit, but shrugged it off, and another first down.
Took a hit. Didn't even go down. Again, I think he embraced that hit. He's running so hard right now. And again, be able to get chunks like that, the hard yards, the gashing yards, and Cougars right here in striking distance as this clock continues to tick.
And Haynes certainly seems like that guy that welcomes the contact.
And short of a touchdown, I don't feel like Coach Eisen and the Cougars are going to let Riverside get this ball back.
So we'll see what they do again. Big set in there for the Cougars. 7 down linemen, just 2 receivers out there. They'll hand off to Moises Haynes, and that time he's met in the backfield and brought down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Good job by DeMarco Moore to come up and make the hit that time.
A late flag here.
Ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 66 of the offense.
And odd.
Vincent Casillas called for the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
So that was behind the play, and I don't feel like there was a defender around it. And so I don't know if something was said or muttered. Don't know. Missed that one.
Marches the ball all the way back to the 41-yard line.
I was going to say an unfortunate break for the Cougars who were on the move.
And it marks it 2nd down and 25 here. So now you have to just think about a couple of more runs, run more time off the clock.
And you're letting it tick down regardless.
You'd thought one more first down would maybe seal the deal. Moises Haynes might get it on this one. He gets a huge chunk back, all the way back up near the 32-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down. It's still going to be 3rd and long. Cougars need to get to the 15. Riverside taking a timeout. It'll be their 2nd timeout of the half. They've got one more left, so you can tell Riverside knows time is short. They've got to stop the clock.
And again, those big bodies out there. Number 52, Jonathan Ariano. That last play, 310 pounds, used every bit of it to help clear that hole. That's what you'd love to see. Grind it out and close it out. This is going to be, if it shakes out how we think, a huge win for College of the Canyons. But let's not get ahead of ourselves too much.
Remember, COC 4th-ranked team in the state of California right now. Riverside fell to 7th after the loss to Golden West, who Golden West beat Long Beach today, which we'll see on the road in a couple of weeks for the Cougars. But as you said, an important game, a win here tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe a loss out of the top 3, maybe not a loss out of the top 3. You might bump yourself into that top 3 spot. Either way, you're sitting in a very good spot at 4-0, potentially 5-0, trying to go into your league season and run the table.
And, you know, Matt, three straight wins over state-ranked opponents.
It hasn't been an easy schedule at
No,
all.
not at all. Feeling good going into the bye week. But conference play is not going to be things don't get any easier. You know, conference play just 2 weeks ago, everyone in the conference National Division Northern League held a state ranking.
As Ika Hihifu to run here, does not get back to the line of scrimmage.
And you talk about the state rankings, College of the Canyons number 4.
So Riverside out of timeouts as they use their final one. Yeah,
Number 4 in the rankings, but I think right there in the upper echelon with the other top teams in the state.
San Mateo 1, correct. Who's 2? Is it Ventura that's 2 right now? They shuffled everybody around.
City College of San
Thank
Francisco
you.
also up there. Ventura, again, a conference rival for us. A lot of history between those two programs. And then College of the Canyons right there at 4. Kind of slipping my mind where I believe Mount Sac was 5.
5, I think, yeah, because they're 2-0 or 3-0 on the year. They've played a couple of less games than everybody else due to some COVID concerns early in the season.
And point being, I mean, the rankings are important, and you do note them. That's not the most important thing at this point of the season, but again, a lot of strength out there. It's not going to be a cakewalk by any stretch of the imagination. I think whatever division you're playing in, the competition is going to be stiff every Saturday night.
Ventura just beat Saddleback 31-17, so you get Ventura now to 5-0. They're undefeated, maybe setting up a big showdown late in the year if the Cougars can continue to run the table, although a long way to go to get to that one. As the Cougars here on 4th down will hand it off as they just want to waste clock here, and Moises Haynes does a good job to stay on his feet. It's a turnover on down for College of the Canyons. It'll leave 2:11 here for Riverside, needing 17 points to tie the football game. And, yeah, you could punt it and try and pin him deep. At worst, they get to the 20-yard line. You say, run, we get him to 30. It's about the same thing.
Yeah, you know that they didn't want to turn the ball over, and the penalty, hurt in that respect. But, again, if you're College of the Canyons, you're still in a great spot. Your defense has made plays all night. No reason to believe that they can't go out and make another one here to slam the door. So go out and play your ball game.
And I would expect Barton to throw the football 4 times here until Riverside gets a first down. That one batted out of the air. First time we've really had a chance to call his name today. Henry Ika Hihifu gets up and knocks it down.
Absolutely. Again, and that hasn't translated into the sacks, but he has been around the ball pretty much all night, all season. And so another example of that here.
So it brings 2nd down here. Barton to throw, throws over the middle. That one tipped and nearly picked off. Dre Falls running around again, nearly had it, as that one tipped right at the line of scrimmage again by the Cougars. And the linebackers doing a good job of just making sure they get up and get a hand on it. That time, it was Dean Miller that got his hand on it. I covered you.
Thank you. Had to jump off for a second.
As the throw incomplete on the near side of the field. And Riverside going to go for it here on 4th down, and they really have no choice. As you need 10 and you need 17. And if you don't get it, Canyons can just kneel down 3 times and call it a night. Although I would imagine they'll run the ball with Moises Haynes 3 times and call it a night.
I feel the same way.
As that is a low snap, Barton going to have to throw downfield, and it's incomplete, and that should pretty much put the seal on this one. Cougars will send the offense out to run the ball a couple of times. 1:53 on the clock, but COC, a very good win, Jesse, really, when you think about it. Coming in against the defending state champions who you would think after a loss last week against Golden West, we're going to be very hungry for a victory. And the Cougars at 4-0 now can move themselves to 5-0 and really do solidify themselves as one of the top teams in the state.
Absolutely. I think College of the Canyons came in and they did everything they needed to tonight. From the first snap, from the first series, getting the quick defensive turnover, getting into the end zone, being able to establish the run game, being able to get Colton Doyle back under center, find his weapons, continue the trend he has started in week 1. I mean, again, I'm sure that the coaching staff will find some things for them to improve on. That is always the case here. That's the case for any top-notch program. You're never satisfied. You look to continue to improve and build to that ultimate goal. And I think that's what we'll see heading into the bye week. But, again, a job well done for College of the Canyons. And, hey, this is what you wanted, 5-0 heading into conference. Couldn't ask for anything more.
Sets up a bye week, a chance for everybody to go in, get healthy, get rested, get ready to go, as they've got a big matchup against Allen Hancock to open conference play in 2 weeks. And, you know, it's not going to be an easy game. It's a different start time, 4 o'clock start time. Allen Hancock, a team that maybe isn't looked at highly, but still a team inside your conference that could come in and absolutely smack you in the mouth, beat you.
Well, a long history between Allen Hancock and College of the Canyons in terms of when this program came back in 1998. But, Matt, don't forget a trip up to Bakersfield on October the 16th as well. And, again, another one of those historic geographic rivalries between Cougars and the Renegades. Always a tough one. A lot of hard-fought battles between those two programs. And I would expect nothing but the same as we come out of the bye.
Thank you for correcting me on that. I had my schedule backwards. That's why you're the SID.
Oh, well, I knew what you were thinking. You were thinking about our next broadcast.
Our next broadcast is here.
Which I completely understand.
I just want to get back to it. I'm having so much fun. I mean, we've got plenty more. We've got soccer next week. We've got some volleyball maybe in a couple of weeks' time. So it's always something going on, as the Cougars will take a knee for the final time, and they will improve to 5-0. A very big win for College of the Canyons. I want to thank our crew. Corey Rubin down on the sidelines doing a great job getting shots for us all day long. Mike Nahar, our main camera operator. Mike Cepeda, our director. And Jesse, I know you've got a couple of you want to throw out there.
Everybody in the booth, our stat team, AJ Wild and Brendan Moskell. Our photographers, Jeff Dahlia and Dylan Stewart, Mari Kneisel. Everybody up in the booth here at College of the Canyons Athletics who makes this possible. Chad Peters, Steve Rise, the whole gang. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. And we'll see you next time, Matt.
Cougars with another big win, 41-24 over Riverside. They're 5-0. We'll take it into the bye week. We'll see you in a couple weeks' time back here at home. So keep cheering on those Cougars. Have a great night, everybody.